Saturday, sunny and 59. Sunday, periods of rain. Let's really focus on the morning Sunday, 62. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray for the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Sponsored by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, 99 years. That's how long Overhead Door Company of St. Louis has been repairing and replacing garage doors for savvy homeowners. For same-day garage door repair 24/7, call Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Schedule online, overheaddoorstlewis.com, overheaddoorstlewis.com. Wind and 46 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
This is the DGS sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloor.com.
Good afternoon, St. Louis. DGS on KMOX. Happy Thursday to you. Housekeeping details. Tomorrow is another Cardinals spring training game. It comes on around noon. So what time is the pregame these days for those?
About 15 minutes for the
Okay.
spring games.
It'll be like it'll be 11:50-ish.
So there you go. And so then we will be doing about a 2-hour show, but the guys will do it without me tomorrow because it's Phoebe's last day of spring break, and I'm going to hang out with her tomorrow.
Nice.
And then Monday, it all starts, the new daytime lineup and 104.1 FM. If all goes right, fingers crossed, you're going to throw a big cartoonish switch at midnight. And when you tune in the morning to Total Information AM or Chris and Amy, that will be on 104.1 FM. And we will, of course, continue to pound that. A lot of people have been confused this week, and even friends of mine just reaching out and texting me like, I can't find you. What's 98.7, blah, blah, blah. We will, of course, always have 11:20 a.m., and we have 102.5 HD KZK, which I never figured out how to work. And we also...
Well, do you have an HD radio?
I have no idea.
Because if you don't, then you don't get it.
It might be in the trunk. And we also have the Odyssey app. Chris, should I say congratulations on Gas House Gang? I mean, I don't know if you're happy about it. Or
yeah. I mean, getting to do a little more sports is going to be fun. That'll be great.
I'm being totally real here.
Yeah.
We're good friends. I've loved being on the show with you. I've not heard you do sports, which is your thing. So I'm excited to hear that hour.
It's been a while. Yeah, I guess it hasn't been that long.
No.
I don't know. I don't do time.
I was a big fan of Chris Ranji
Get out.
before I was
The
on the show
backstory.
with Chris
That's
Ranji.
right.
I know. How embarrassing is that?
And now you
I
hate him.
listened, and now never meet your heroes. Never meet your heroes.
That's what I'm going
No,
for.
I listened to Chris Ranji for years. Like, I really was a fan before
Like a
I got to
couple.
work with him. Like 5.
Yeah, I guess it was about 5.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't listen to you with the White Sox.
No,
because
you weren't there. For
I
that.
did.
Yeah.
Oh, Kevin
I did.
'cause
That's how
Kevin
you and
was
I
in-
got to be
that's right.
friends.
I read
Yeah.
about him, a big profile in the Athletic.
Hmm.
Like, he has a cult following in Chicago, and I read that.
It's
because
an
I
actual
said-
cult.
Yeah.
Is it?
And you're the leader. That's why you go up there so often.
They have little outfits.
Yeah.
And the same shoes.
What if you guys all looked like you?
They have glasses.
Everybody-
Everybody has to wear glasses.
Total Ron
But I've convinced all of them their eyesight's bad.
It's
I'm-
funny.
I'm a good
the
cult
White
leader.
Sox aren't a real team. They're just a front.
Yeah. That's not even-
I
Explains the
mean,
bad
that,
record.
that explains a lot.
It's amazing we win any games.
Yeah.
I don't need these. I can see fine. No, you can't.
Can anybody else not really picture Chris
It's like Heaven's Gate.
talking sports? Like when they said Chris is gonna host Gas House, I was like, that guy? Really?
No,
Wow.
no, that's what we're saying. I was.
I mean, literally,
I
it's what he
knew
did for
him.
20-something
Yeah.
years.
It's not really a sports guy. I don't know.
One thing I do know is that our day, Amy and I, will have a much easier morning because we no longer have to see Andrew in the
yeah,
office.
here we go.
I know.
So
We
we're
don't have to
starting
fraternize
our
with him
show.
anymore.
This garbage again.
We're starting at 9 now. The show's going 9 to noon. And then the
You
sports
okay,
thing.
Wheels?
It's just making me laugh.
Show's gonna be a lot worse now that you can't pester me for advice all the time.
I don't talk to you. And then
We'll actually plan. We'll actually.
yeah,
have-
we can actually talk about
Yeah.
stuff. So we get started at 9 now. It'll be 9 to noon, and Andrew usually rolls in about 9. So we always see him for an hour
Yeah.
before we have to go down the hall, and he's bothering us and keeping
Well, when
us
you're not
from-
on the toilet.
Yeah. Hey, man. Why do you think I stay in there so long? So I don't have to talk to you.
He's like the dad hiding.
This is
from
like
the
my buddy.
kids.
Yeah, my buddy.
My
My
uncle
buddy-
used to do that.
Years ago, he said that. He goes, "What is the appropriate amount of time that I could pretend to have to go to the bathroom so that I could just get away from everybody else?"
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. But yeah, so we start at 9. We go 9 to noon. Then the
Mhm.
Gas House Gang at noon. Kevin's got the Redbird Rush Hour at 5. So
And then Matt and I will pop on with you guys, but
Oh.
like when it makes sense, not when it's not every day.
Kevin, we did make it clear for
Yeah.
somebody today who called in, and she was worried. Because she still relies on traffic in the 5
It's still
o'clock
gonna
hour.
happen. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Traffic and weather just like it is now.
but it's all
But
Cardinals.
then
talk.
baseball in the middle.
That's right.
You're not gonna miss a damn thing. Everything's good.
Amy's asking, will Chris and Amy still be with the DGS at 1 p.m.? And the answer is yes. Yes, they will.
Yep.
Yeah, they don't know it. They don't know
Yeah.
it, but yeah,
Every day.
we're gonna put boots on their cars, and then at 2 o'clock we'll unlock them.
In a minute, you guys had half a second of like, what?
Why are things being decided without us?
He's like,
No, in fact, this is the last day
Yeah.
because
very
tomorrow is
Baseball game, yeah.
baseball game. So today's the last day for doing crossover.
We've had a lot of people who've
Mhm.
texted in today and said that's my favorite hour of the
Yeah,
day.
we get that a lot too.
Yeah.
well, you guys can stay.
Well, I know we
Well,
could.
I got things to do.
Not that I'm gonna guilt you guys.
Yeah, audience, if you're disappointed, it's really Chris and Amy. It's just,
Their
it's
their
really their
choice.
decision.
Yeah.
they just
Tell you
didn't
what,
want to do it for you.
Yeah.
All right, Kevin, deal. You have to come in an hour earlier then.
Oh,
Don't
you're
threat-
talking
he
to the
doesn't
wrong
care.
guy.
I mean, let's
I know.
go.
You can threaten me with that, but not
Let's
him.
go.
I know.
The other day, Kevin said I would be on all day if they let me.
No. It's not about the talking time. It's the 8 a.m. arrival time.
Yeah, that
Yes.
part. Yeah, that part is no.
Yeah.
That's no
I'm like
bueno.
you though. I
Yeah,
have
that
a-
doesn't fit with his
You're a
haircuts.
night guy. You're a sports guy.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
It's
You
still,
have to get the good at the art of naps is what you got to do.
I try.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work out.
This is a little inside baseball and a little personal, but do you have to be here at a certain time per Steve? Like, does he want to see your smiling faces at 7 or something?
Well, I mean, he wants to.
But
And
if
we
he's
do our
not
best
here,
to
he doesn't
accommodate
know
him.
that we're
He doesn't
not
know
here.
that you're not here.
This dude's going to install ring cameras now. You know that, right?
He's gonna be there
Well,
at
you guys aren't
7:30.
there yet. Oh, they got cameras in the hallway, man. They can go back and look.
He might show up a couple times, just be there at 7:30 at the door. Like, all right.
He's just sitting in your chair.
Well, have some nice alone time, Steve. I'll see you at 8.
I'm just glad I'm working with a late night guy because I feel like it's my excuse. It's like, I'm not getting here until Raji gets here.
There you go.
You're welcome.
The second high five of the day.
Although,
High five.
Amy's waking up at 4 a.m. every day, so it doesn't matter to her.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
it
It's
does,
like
though.
lunchtime.
I know.
Yeah. But it's just how rushed are you?
That's why she eats her lunch at 9.
I do eat my lunch
Yeah,
at
that
9.
makes sense. I mean, if you're
Yeah.
getting up at 4.
I don't get up at 4. Well, now I'm
I
not.
get up
now
at 5.
Now
I
I
slept
don't.
in.
Now I don't wake up at 5 because I'm not running. So
Are you starting to kind of get how great the non-running life is yet?
well, I mean, yes, part of me like not having that stress because like there were some workouts that were like so tough I would literally be in tears the night before, which is insane as just a non-professional 40-year-old radio host that you're crying about workouts. But I think the big thing is I go to sleep and I'm more relaxed falling asleep because you're not thinking I need to fall asleep because I have to get up.
I
My
have this
alarm's-
many hours.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then-
Oh, that's the
and
worst.
then I think the biggest thing is because you're maximizing sleep. It's waking up. Say you wake up at 5 a.m., but you have to be running by 5:20. And I feel like that turnaround of like, you got to get your heart going. You got to go. That was always tough. So this has been kind of nice.
To ever tell you the story, you're the only one who will really appreciate it. When I was a lawyer, I was about 26, and Sandberg Phoenix, who advertised here, and John Sandberg back then was probably in his 40s, and he was a big runner, huge runner, and he found out that I was a track guy, and so of course I played it up, trying to impress my new boss, and it's this big firm silk stocking. I'm just like, and so he talked me into joining he and his 3 running buddies at 5 a.m. I was living down the West End. I had no running apparel. So
Nice.
I dressed exactly like Rocky. I was wearing gray sweats
Mhm.
and a big gray sweatshirt, and then it started to pour rain. So
You weighed
I weighed
100 pounds extra.
Yes. And I
Yeah.
wasn't, and I also was not a runner. I was in
Yeah.
better shape than I am now. And to my credit, I made it about 3 miles out. And they're like, we're going to go 5, then we're going to turn around. I'm like, boys,
Yeah.
I'm turning around
There you
now.
go.
I think
It's terrible.
It's hard to emphasize. It is a completely different sport. Sprinting and distance
Couldn't
running.
be more
They
different.
could not be more different. Gabby Thomas, the gold medalist, the sprinter in the Olympics, said she never runs a mile ever, and she did a mile once and said it was horrible and it
Yeah.
was like it felt terrible. She'll never do it again. They're different sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely.
So that 3 miles was a long way for a.
It
What
was
were you? 100
awful.
meter, 60 meter, 200
Yeah.
meter.
I'm a big
Yeah.
fan of the 10
100
meter.
was long.
10 meter sprint.
Like I could meet you guys at 10 a.m. for some sprints. If that interests you.
I'm there for that.
And every one of those guys would pull a hammy.
Right. They'd be like, oh,
I
no, we
can't do
can't.
that.
It's true. You
Yeah.
probably don't pull many hammies running
Can't do
distance,
that.
do you?
No, I would pull a hammy doing a sprint.
That's what I'm saying.
100%. Yeah.
The body type of somebody who's a sprinter versus a marathon long distance is so different.
Sprinters
Oh my
are
God.
muscular.
Sprinters
they're
look like
ripped,
football players.
They
Yeah.
look like
Yeah.
football players, and runners look like skeletons. Yeah.
Yeah.
You said it.
Healthy skeletons.
Healthy
Yeah, at SIU, which is the track's way out in the country, and they wanted us to run a mile out
Mhm.
and a mile back just to warm up with the distance runners. And there was a shed 200 yards out. Yeah, you see where this is going.
Yeah.
And it really wasn't us. It was the distance runners who were like, we hate you running with us because
Yeah,
you just slow us down.
Yeah.
So we'd run 200 yards. We'd duck back. We'd wait for them to come back. We'd join them. And
That's funny.
there you go.
Dude, I remember the freshman year I got talked into running cross country because I don't know, my homeroom teacher was one of the coaches, and he's like, "You'll never make the basketball team if you're not in great shape." And
You realize of all the things you've ever said,
running cross country,
that sounds the most.
I
amazing.
know it's the weird thing, but I also was like 140 pounds.
I know. I'm
then,
picturing you now running
Yeah,
cross
yeah,
country.
no, that wouldn't work. But we get there for the first day of practice, and the coach is like 2 freshmen, like 3 of us were new, and I'm like, "Oh, you new guys, you know what? Everybody else go do your normal thing. You guys just go run 5 miles." And I'm like, we looked at each other like, 5 miles? What are you talking about? I've never run 2 miles. What are we talking about here?
Go run 5 miles.
We did. I mean, he laughed so hard at us. We looked at each other like, did he just say 5 miles? Dang it.
Yeah, only one time in my life have I ever, and I was in my early 20s, really gotten into distance running. And by distance, I mean probably 5 miles, where you get through the side stitch and
Mhm.
stuff, or when you really start having a mental payoff from it, but only one time.
Yeah.
I mean, not one run, but one phase in my
Yeah.
life.
I think it happened for me one time individually. It was a gym class. I'm like,
Gym
oh, I get
class?
this. I get this.
You got a
Yeah.
runner's high.
Yeah, once. It happened once.
So many people say that they're sad that the crossover hour is
Aw.
going away. So enjoy it today.
For everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to The Dave Glover Show and all the news, talk, sports, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's AUDACY.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. It's no wonder that ZipRecruiter is the place for skilled skydiving instructors, accomplished airbrush artists, and proficient pediatricians. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter to hire, you're missing out. ZipRecruiter is the place that's so confident it can make your hiring easier that it lets you try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. So if you want the right candidates for all your roles, ZipRecruiter is the place to go. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-885-1010. 800-885-1010. Again, that's 800-885-1010.
Tell you guys about Michael's Flooring Outlet. I hope you don't get sick of hearing about Michael's Flooring Outlet. I hope you don't get sick of hearing about any of my live endorsement clients, because that's the lifeblood of the DGS. That's what keeps us getting together every day and having fun and having discussions and crossing swords. It's a very simple sell. The simplest I've ever had. And Mike's been with me for 25 years. And it's simply this. If you need flooring, you can't get better flooring for a better price with easier negotiation and better service after the sale than from Mike. He has 3 locations around town. The buck stops with him. He has told all of his people that, look, Dave has been such a giant boom to my business. You don't let a DGS listener walk out of there without giving them the absolute best deal you possibly can. So whether it's wall-to-wall carpeting or an area rug or tile, linoleum, hardwood flooring, you need it by a certain time. As I always say, play the DGS card. Mike will bend over backwards to make you happy. You can find out everything about Mike and his business at michaelsflooringoutlet.com.
Hi, my name is Christina Straight, the owner of Straight Realty, and I'm asking you, what do you want in a realtor? Do you want experience? I've been a broker for over 21 years. Do you want to know how much I've sold? I've sold over $500 million, yes, $1 billion with a B, in sales. Do you want value? I now list properties for only 2%. So, if you're looking for all these things and want the best, then call me 314-441-4444. Why pay more than 2? You can also listen to my podcast on my website, straightrealty.com.
Commissions are not regulated and unnegotiable. Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
There's nothing like it. The crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd, and the timeless voice of Cardinals baseball.
A swing, and there's a high fly ball. That's in the deep left field. It might go. It's a gunner.
Now, you can experience every pitch, every play, every win in crystal clear FM sound.
Big fly out of Carlson.
Starting March 24th, tune in to 104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of the Cardinals, now stronger than ever.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 122. D and SL says an hour sports show at noon. Is that what I heard? Yes, it's the Gas House Gang. Raj is going to be the only everyday guy, and then you'll have Claibs, which I'm really excited about. I love me some Mike Claiborne.
Yeah, Claibs on Friday,
and Nicholas and Tom Ackerman. So I'm personally, selfishly looking forward to it. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
It'll be fun.
Yeah,
that'll
be cool.
It's nice to have it in the middle of the day too. Could use a little more sports. We don't want to go full sports,
right?
But it's nice to have a little bit more.
The show we found out doing it the way we did, like people are into it. So yeah, bring it on the air. Let's go.
I thought that's pretty funny last night. Wheels Steve sent us a picture of the Masters dinner menu, and
wait, the Masters dinner, like the golf.
Because the last year's champion gets to pick the dinner.
Oh, okay.
And he said, "What's your dinner?" And he meant it, of course, like, you should do this as a bit on the show.
Yeah.
And he and I are like, we're dumplings.
We're just answering. He's like, no, you dummies. This is a topic you guys can talk about.
So we're just practicing for tomorrow.
I just told him. I just figured you needed to know. I thought you were planning something.
I thought we were just chatting at this point.
And his was first course crab cakes, second course crab cakes, third course crab cakes.
Each crab cake, like course, the crab cakes are slightly bigger.
Slightly.
A little bit bigger. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Here's my
So
salad crab cake.
So
Yeah.
mine for real would be Moonlight Salad
Wait,
from Moonlight Castelli's Moonlight over in Fosterburg, Roma's Pizza from Bethalto, and Hostess Cherry Pies. If I win the Masters, that's what you're having for dinner the next year. Anyone else got one?
Mac and cheese.
3 courses.
That's the salad.
He's the salad. That's the salad.
Salad course is mac and cheese. It's a pasta salad.
We're gonna call it macaroni salad, but it's mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese.
It's pasta salad, but it's
The
just
way
Kraft
you
mac
said
and
it.
cheese.
Everybody's mac and cheese.
mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese.
Is there something wrong with me that I don't like pasta salad?
No.
I like some kinds
Everybody
of it.
loves it. I don't. Ugh.
So I
I don't
as-
like cold noodles.
All the things wrong with you, and you think it's the pasta salad. That's the problem.
Robbie's
Are
like,
you
I
just trying to
don't
get
like-
all the
I know,
meme this out?
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was
Hard
gonna say-
chance.
as a kid, I hated pasta salad. It would be at family reunions. You'd be like, "Oh, this is so dumb." Now that's just like how I know I'm old. Is I like pasta salad.
That's a good bit too.
It is.
How do you know you're old?
Yeah, and I'm interested in dishes. I'm like, these are beautiful dishes. And I'm like, oh my
Are these
gosh.
Corningware?
Yeah,
Are they nonstick?
yeah.
To back up Chris, I do sometimes feel like I'm the only person in the world who doesn't want to eat potato salad. Everybody else just seems to go totally nuts for it, and it's like, ugh.
Depends on the potato salad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
They're not all
like it.
equal.
I like it. I even like egg salad.
Yeah.
I like egg
honestly.
salad.
I like a cheap yellow mustard potato salad.
Oh
I can tell
yeah,
that.
yep. Sometimes when it comes to things like a potato salad, the fancier stuff doesn't
Yeah,
do it for
doesn't
me.
cut it.
I like the old school, like
Although
you said,
it's
cheap.
pretty good when you throw
mustard
like
kind.
bacon and stuff in there.
Eh,
That's pretty good.
I like it right out of the Schnucks container, man.
Yeah,
Yep.
there you go.
like I like cheap hot dogs. I
Do
think, Yeah, I think cheap hot dogs are better than the fancy. I don't know, whatever it is.
I've sort of been sucked into the world of expensive hot dogs.
Uh-oh,
I've become like
no.
Nathan's or Hebrew National.
They really, I mean,
Yeah.
they really, apologies to Amy, but they're really not created equal. Like,
Yeah.
there is a
Go
higher
get some
quality
Vienna
scale.
beef, man.
Well, I know
Yeah.
they're not created equal. That's why I said I like the cheap ones.
Yeah.
Like the Hunter hot dog, they're like 99 cents for a package, whatever that was.
Man, that's what I grew up on. Were the hunters?
Oh, right?
Yeah.
I
good.
mean, they're maybe it's nostalgia making up the
Probably.
difference.
Yeah. I know it's a cliche, but not. There are lots of different dogs at the ballpark,
Yeah.
but like the classic jumbo hot
Mhm.
dog, that's
So
my hot
good.
dog.
Now, I don't know, Andrew, if you grew up with Hunter, we grew up with Hunter with the white bread wrapped around the hot dog,
Oh, yeah.
not the bun. We didn't
Yeah,
have buns.
no,
we did the
no.
white bread, like Wonder Bread wrapped around the Hunter
You were
hot
lucky.
dog.
That's the only time anybody ever wanted the end piece.
The
Was when you could
heel?
use, yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think I want the heel with the hot dog.
I
Oh, it's
still
good that
I
way.
still prefer good old white Wonder Bread than over a hot dog bun.
Hmm,
Like if I'm
really?
at home. Yeah. Yeah. Still too much bread on the bun.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
You
All
have
right,
to
that
peel
makes
it off.
sense.
Cardinal Cowboy here. Years ago, doctors said I'd never be independent after a bad car accident. Well, I proved them wrong. When proving who's the best in garage doors, Renner does it every time. Whether it's service or a new door, you're covered with top brands like Delden, Amar, and LiftMaster. Keep your garage door running strong with Renner's $100 maintenance check. Or get a free replacement quote. Call or click RennerDoorSTL.com. Renner, forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER. Discover true luxury at Missouri's first and only standalone Genesis dealership, Genesis of St. Charles. Thank you for making us the #1 Genesis dealer in Missouri for 2024. True luxury isn't just built, it's engineered with precision and passion. Explore amazing cutting-edge technology, redefined elegance, and exhilarating performance in the new 25 GV80. A new level of luxury awaits you at Genesis of St. Charles. Visit us in-store or shop genesisofstcharles.com. Based on GMA sales records.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things. People. Love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to goodrx.com/GLP. That's goodrx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
At 1:30, it is 47 degrees downtown at the Arch. President Trump is signing an executive order this afternoon to continue the dismantling of the Department of Education with the intention of closing it via GOP control of Congress. CBS's Willie James Inman at the White House, where officials have pointed out certain programs and funding will remain.
To really hand this over to the states. Of course, there's no curriculum set, so no national curriculum set by the U.S. government. The states handle hiring teachers, handling curriculum.
Stalled vehicle 70 eastbound before Union. That's got the right lane closed. A crash on 55 going south at 270-255. That's on the right shoulder. And the forecast for this afternoon, a high of 51 degrees. For tonight, clear, cold, low 37. Sunny tomorrow at the high of 64. Right now, 47. Feels like 36 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
There's nothing like it. The crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd, and the timeless voice of Cardinals baseball.
A swing, and there's a high fly ball. That's hit the deep left field. It might go. It's a gunner.
Now, you can experience every pitch, every play, every win in crystal clear FM sound.
Big fly, Alec Burleson.
Starting March 24th, tune in to 104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of the Cardinals, now stronger than ever.
Guys, it's the spring. It's time to start planning out your lawn care. I mean, look, it's starting to turn. It's starting to grow. You want to make sure that the weeds don't grow with that. And when it comes to taking care of the lawn, I've trusted True Green forever, and you can find them at truegreen.com. And by forever, I'm talking like at least a dozen years, probably more like 15 years at my current place. And they're phenomenal, man. They're not only experts here in St. Louis, but they're the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour. They know exactly what they're doing. You don't have to learn what works best and what combinations win and how to get rid of this kind of thing or that kind of thing. They know. You don't have to do the work. They do it for you. And the best part is it's more affordable than you think. They'll match any competitor's price. So you go to truegreen.com or you give them a call. They'll walk you through all of that. They back everything up with a satisfaction guarantee. And if you're ever unhappy, they will come back between visits to make sure that it's right so that you are happy. So go to truegreen.com today. Then you can let the pros do the work while you sit back and enjoy the results.
This report is sponsored by Metro Transit.
We are Metro Transit. We don't just help ourselves and our neighbors get where we need to be. We help our whole region get where we want to be. Get on board at rideonmetro.org.
Need a lawyer? Onder wins. Call Onder Law at 314-9-million. That's 314-9 all zeros. Or go to onderwins.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
The Biz Dash returns as St. Louis's healthiest happy hour. Combining fitness and fun, it's a perfect team bonding activity for any size business. All levels of runners and walkers are welcome. Join us this spring at Energizer Park, home of St. Louis City SC, for the 10th year of the Biz Dash, the ultimate office party and kickoff to summer. Thursday, May 22nd at Energizer Park in downtown St. Louis. Create your company team today at stlbizdash.com.
Get ready for the Cards and Astros tomorrow in Grapefruit League play. Pre-game 11:55. First pitch 12:05. Hear the game here on your home for St. Louis Cardinals baseball. KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 134. For all of those of you out there who have NCAA brackets, my beloved SIUE is beating Houston 37-18. So you probably got your bracket busted, Jack.
Yeah, unfortunately.
They're losing 40-18, but
it's not good.
they're going to come back.
Well,
Like next year, I mean?
Yes.
Yes. There's another season.
They're going to come back and
next
play
year.
another game.
Yeah.
I mean, look, that's a tough draw, man. How much? I mean, like, as great as it is to make your first ever NCAA tournament, your reward is you get to face a number 1 seed.
Yeah.
One of the very best teams in the country.
Well, they-
Houston is really,
Yeah,
really
they're
good,
We
too.
talked to Joe
Yes.
Pott earlier today about this, and it's like they know the odds, but as a player, you have to go into the game thinking you've got a chance.
Sure.
You have to.
always do.
You
I mean, like,
always do. You just have to. You
If you're
can't go
competitive,
in.
you can
Yeah.
always draw up in your mind how it works.
Yeah.
And it's happened. 16 has beaten a 1. It's
Couple
only one
times.
time, right?
Twice.
Or is it twice?
Yeah, Purdue
154
lost.
and
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it
it's
was-
because that was only what, like the first time was only 5 years ago, maybe? Because it had never happened for a long time.
It was less than 10.
Yeah, it was recent.
Virginia that lost.
Yep.
Maryland, Baltimore County,
Yep.
UMBC.
Did they have the flu or something?
No,
That's
they
what
just had a
I-
boring
that's
offense,
what I
and
always picture.
when you're a low-scoring team, you leave those teams in the game. It's
And
kind of how it
what
goes.
did Virginia win the whole thing the year before or a year after?
I think it was the year after.
Okay, because they lost to a 16 and then either right around that also won a championship. So it's not
Yeah,
like they were a bad team.
I faced that my entire collegiate sprinting career, where I was pretty much banking on people tripping and food poisoning.
Mhm. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
That's
They're
just
just-
what I needed to happen.
There's
Yeah.
just something about it, though. Like when you're in that mode, you're better. You think you're better than you are, but I think you have to be
You
that
have
way.
to. Why would you ever show up for a game and try? You're like, well, we're gonna lose.
Yeah.
You've got to have a little bit of delusion and hope for the best.
And
I
then every
mean,
once in a
I would
while-
just go in thinking we're gonna ruin these guys' day in some way, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like
Make them
something's-
uncomfortable. for
We're
a few
gonna make
minutes.
them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it was fun anyway.
Yeah.
DNSL says, so technically, Dave, with you gone tomorrow, this is the last time all 6 of you will be together. I mean, not in life, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
We never saw them.
we never saw them again. This is why they redid everything to keep us away from each other.
Yeah.
That's why they even put in a 1 hour
A
buffer.
buffer, yeah.
Yes. Look, what if we got an FM signal, and what if we made Ranji do an extra show?
Yeah.
We
It's
can
mostly just to
separate 'em.
keep Andrew and Ranj away from each other.
You hear Andrew lashing out at me today because he's upset.
Yeah.
Well, that's like
He's
a,
pulling your pigtails.
He's gonna
Yeah,
miss
he
you.
is.
yeah, jealous
Yeah.
lover type thing.
Yeah, no, it's more like a
jealous.
I don't know.
And I'm-
Ranj
and as you
was
say
about
that,
to agree that he's like, oh no, wait, no, it's not.
I'm
don't
looking
think
at
that's the wording.
Andrew, who has like a little squiggle hair thing today, like he's trying to be sexy.
Little Superman
It's like
squirrel.
a-
Yeah,
it's
little
like a-
Superman swirl.
like a melted Superman.
I can't really control what it does.
we have to give
I didn't
that.
mean it the
we
way
have
it
to
came
give
out.
that the credit it's due.
I don't think it's due any credit.
It's
Thank
like-
you very much.
It looks like it's melting off of your face. I didn't mean
Mhm.
anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I like when Andrew does his hair. Looks good.
Thank
He's
you.
got nice hair.
He has great hair.
And nice
Mhm.
skin.
Mhm.
Do you?
Mhm.
I'm gonna come look at it during the
Keep
break.
going.
Go look at his skin. Look at all that.
You can see
Ranji's
most
gonna
of
be
it
like-
in his naked Uber Eats picture.
Ranji, but we
Yeah.
got to do it in the voice of James Gum.
I'll send you some shirtless toilet pics
I'm gonna-
tonight.
I'm gonna bring you some lotion.
I'll send you some shirtless toilet pics tonight. You'll love them.
You're allowed to say that.
You'll love them as much as all my Instacart customers did.
Imagine if any
This
one of
guy's-
us said that sentence to any other one of
Right.
us.
We're all just breezing past it.
This guy's dropping off my produce.
They loved it. They were fine with it. I don't understand. I wouldn't have been.
Nobody.
Here's a tip, buddy.
Nobody wants to think about you naked on the toilet when you're picking up their groceries.
They all let me do it.
I can't believe that you're like, well, I didn't think that anyone would see it. Yeah, but you're still submitting.
What did you think it was
that
for?
picture to like a job
Well, you know, I mean,
application?
If
Photos-
one person saw it,
I mean,
I
like,
don't care if
photos are a visual medium, but yet nobody's going.
I
to
don't
see
care
it.
if the Instacart corporate sees it.
I will say this.
why not?
I don't know.
If,
They've probably seen worse.
let's say that photo was just for some hiring manager. If I'm that manager and I see it, I'll tell you this: I'm not throwing it out right away.
No, it'll make the rounds.
I will dig a little
You're going to be
deeper.
like texting people, like, dude, you got to see this.
I'll dig a little deeper.
Found our next regional manager.
I would just respond with, "What do you think Instacart is?"
They accepted it immediately. I sent that pic in, and immediately they were like, "Hired, you're in."
And that was before AI.
And how and when did you realize you'd made a mistake?
I realized it after, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 deliveries. I could look at. I was like, I should look at my own profile, and I looked at it, and sure enough, there is the shirtless photo with the toilet tank in the background.
Dude, were your nipples in this photo?
Tank.
My nipples were not in the photo, but
Were
I cut
you
off right above.
slouching on the toilet?
I was,
like how
I
did
was
that work?
clearly, I was
It's
so
the
it was.
biggest tank ever.
I was kind of angling it down, and
Oh, like a
It's a-
MySpace
it's a
photo.
like a
little-
MySpace photo.
Oh,
almost.
I
And
see what you're doing there.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
You couldn't,
Yeah.
and it cut off like right here, so you could tell I was not wearing a
I
shirt.
thought your toilet was a
And
literal throne.
You could see the top of the
Like,
toilet
I was-
tank.
His nips aren't in the picture.
They're not in there.
But the tank is.
Because that would be like too much. If those weren't, like, nobody wants to
I
see
know you
that.
can't see it, but were your pants around your ankles?
Yeah, I was fully on the toilet. I mean, I
Well,
wasn't
you know
like
you
sitting.
can sit on a toilet in your pants.
No,
Did you double check to make sure that there wasn't?
let me put it this way: I was not sitting on it as a chair. Let's put it like that.
So
when I
you
was
were
taking-
More of a stool.
mid-act.
Wait, you were not
Yes, I was.
sitting on it?
I was
Oh.
using.
He was
the
dropping
restroom.
a deuce.
Yeah, I was using the restroom at the time.
But like, weren't you afraid that
You know,
somehow?
I'll just knock out something else.
whether
Yeah,
it
and I
a-
was like going through my stuff, and it was like, oh, we need to pick. Oh, all right.
Like, that's multitasking, man. That's how you get things done.
Man,
Yeah. It's all about maximizing.
It's all about rise and grind, man.
All about maximizing.
If you're not
efficiency.
working while you're pooping, you're not doing it right.
If you're not working when you're pooping.
Sorry, was that close enough to the rise and grind, bros?
Yeah, and I just know when
If you're just pooping, you're doing it wrong.
And I couldn't help it when people order this, like
Gotta
my
make money.
picture, that picture of me not
Yeah.
smiling, shirtless, with a toilet tank in the background. So I'm clearly sitting on the toilet, and that's just what they see, and they're like, "Oh, great, he's bringing it."
and
Great.
it's weird because
Cool.
just you without a shirt on is weird.
Yeah.
And just you on a toilet is weird. But
Yeah.
the fact that they now think you're fully naked on the toilet
Which
wasn't wrong.
wasn't wrong.
Yeah, like if
Was.
if you receive that picture with a note that says, "I've kidnapped your husband," you just tell the kids, "Dad's dead." I mean,
Yeah.
we're not getting him
Yeah,
back
I'm not
from that
doing
guy.
anything right.
Yeah, I'm not going to negotiate with him.
I'm sorry, but if you showed up and I saw your photo before the groceries got there, I would. First of all, I would honestly think that you left straight from the toilet
Yeah.
Yeah.
and went to the
Yeah.
store.
Sure.
That's the because
That's
the only thing they know about me is that I'm on the toilet. So like you have to assume that's my hobby.
And I don't know if you wash or not.
Oh.
You
You're
don't.
going and picking up all my items.
He's bringing up good points.
I
It's
agree
the
with him.
single thing we know about you.
I agree with him. I when I saw it, I was stunned. I was like, "Oh my god!"
You did it.
It just gives
What
off
did
the
I
air.
do?
But it never said it. They never said like, "This is take a photo. This is the photo that we will
Well,
use for your profile." They
What did
said
you, okay, honestly,
said
what did
they-
you think it was for?
it explicitly said, "Take a photo because this is the photo that we will match against your driver's license ID stuff to
Okay.
make sure that you are the same person."
But still, I would have waited.
So it was just for like identification verification. That was all that it was
it
for.
just implies.
They did not say we are going to double up and put this on your profile.
But now you get it.
I still don't because they didn't say it.
Even if it
If
was
it's going to be
just
my
a
profile,
match.
you should make it. That's like saying.
Okay,
that's
let me just walk you through it. Job aside, never take a picture of yourself pooping.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just if you live by one rule, live by that one.
I looked pretty good.
That would
They clearly thought so.
So no regrets is what we're hearing.
They clearly
What
thought.
face
hey,
did you have?
I didn't lose. I had I was smiling. I was like,
I
like
thought
a
you
nice
weren't
smile.
smiling.
No, the other one I'm not smiling.
The
this
thirst
one,
trap one?
yeah,
Oh,
the thirst
yeah.
trap one I'm not smiling. This one I had a little grin on because I was like, well, it's already weird enough that I'm taking this shirtless because I knew it was.
Smiling somehow makes it worse.
I didn't think it was not weird that I was doing it, but I was also like
Kinda didn't
annoyed.
care.
Well, this was like step 20 of 30, and I was so annoyed at this point by all the hoops I was having to jump through that I'm like, all right, fine. You need yet another picture of me.
And do you still have that photo?
No, I might be able to get it off of my Instacart account if they didn't deactivate, because I haven't done it in like a year and a half. So
Yeah,
if it
please
hasn't
do.
been deactivated,
yeah,
I should try.
I just
and
want to
find
make
it.
that my phone's screensaver.
And the wallpaper on your computer.
Yeah. Any other things I can think of? T-shirts.
Now those would sell.
That might be that's what I was
They'd
thinking.
be like, hey, I think that guy brought me bananas one time.
KMOX now on FM. Just a picture of you right in the middle.
Let's do it anywhere.
They should tell you though, right? Like that's like if you
No.
go to
No.
the
no.
It's like
Just-
it's like if you go to the DMV and they say,
just
"We
stop
have a seat
digging.
over here. We're gonna
The
take some
only
pics."
way this is not your fault is if they burst into your bathroom and took the picture of
Yep.
you.
Yeah,
That's the
surprise
only
you.
way.
And even then, you should have locked the door.
Yeah, that's still yeah. Who let him in your house?
This is the way the
just
last
not-
crossover ever
I
should
just
end.
can't. Whatever.
Because we have lawyers in all 50 states, I see lots of lawyers' ads. Most seem to be bragging on results, but are they true or misleading? For example, in some cases, a firm may try a case even though the at-fault party has no lawyer, then brag in the ad about their results. My son Matt got one for nearly $50 million, but we never collected one dime. Some lawyers may say they got a result even though they were sitting second chair at a firm like mine, and even though they had little to do with it. Happens all the time. All that glitters is not gold. At Morgan & Morgan, our results are real. Visit forthepeople.com and go to settlements and verdicts to see for yourself what your case may be worth before you hire a law firm. Do your homework. Fact check. It's easy and too important not to. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
The KMOX First Pitch Breakfast presented by Budweiser is Thursday and features an unfiltered conversation with the Cardinals Hall of Famer Vince Coleman. Tables are on sale now and include a delicious breakfast buffet, bottomless mimosas, Bloody Marys, and an ice cold Budweiser. Plus, you'll get 2 free tickets to Saturday's Cards Twins game. Start this unofficial holiday with KMOX, Budweiser, Overhead Door Company, St. Louis Composting, Rally House, and Dirt Cheap. Get 20% off your table now by using the code KMOX. Everything you need at KMOX.com/events.
Ready to make lake life a reality? With Anywhere Lombardo at Lake of the Ozarks, you can build a home designed just for you. Whether it's a cozy retreat or a luxurious lakeside escape, our custom designs bring your vision to life, set against stunning lake views and peaceful surroundings. The perfect balance of relaxation and adventure. With a trusted builder backed by long-standing vendor relationships, you'll enjoy cost savings and superior quality from start to finish. Start your dream home today with Anywhere Lombardo. Visit lombardohomes.com to learn more.
Welcome to Staples. I hear Staples prints it all for any business. You bet. And we'll beat any print quote. So if I had a pizza place.
Staples can print signs, menus, pizza boxes.
A landscaping business.
Oh, we can print yard signs, t-shirts, brochures.
How about a pizza/landscaping business? I'll call it Dough and Mo.
I like it.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. Ends 4/5 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Hi, Stacy here with Fairwinds River's Edge Senior Living in St. Charles.
We have a helpful seminar coming up Friday, March 7th that just might be the help you didn't even know you needed. Learn about the current housing market and tips on how to downsize and move from a home you may have been in for 20 years. Or maybe it's been 50. Happy hour follows. Visit us online at fairwindsriversedge.com and let us know if you're able to join us. Thanks, and we hope to talk with you soon.
If you want to know what's happening with your St. Louis Cardinals, then you need to get the inside scoop from the Gas House Gang. Every weekday at noon, Tom Ackerman, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler, and Bernie Nicholas break down the latest Cardinals news with analysis only true experts can bring. Live on the KMOX YouTube channel and KMOX Sports on X, and replayed weeknights at 8 on KMOX. The Gas House Gang, sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling and Game Day Men's Health on your home of the St. Louis Cardinals. KMOX.
I'm Rachel Zimmerman. This is KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. The always masculine Jesse Waters from Fox. Did you see that he had the 5 rules for men?
I can't wait. I'm intrigued.
Don't cross your legs ever.
Okay.
There's some other stupid ones too, but never eat soup. Real men don't eat soup.
Is there an explanation for the soup thing?
No, not that I heard.
Okay.
I think it's the slurping.
It's probably it's got to be the slurp, right?
Yeah.
And then you never drink a milkshake ever.
Not even when it's 2 straws and a sexy lady on the other.
And you never drink out of a straw
Oh.
because it purses your lips in a feminine way.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know who thinks like that? Weenies.
Yeah.
Like
You're
real, you know
100% right.
You know what real guys do? Whatever they want.
Right.
Whatever they want.
I don't okay. I've talked about not being a real man in the sense that on Saturdays I don't wake up and clean my gutters. Like I'm not I'm not that man.
Right.
But I'm enough of a man that I can honestly say, and you know how honest I am, that in 60 years I've never once thought about, am I masculine enough?
Mhm.
I've never ever had a thought like, oh, this isn't the most masculine thing, or this I need to do more of this. I agree with you, Wheels. Anyone who thinks about it is some sort of weenie.
Yeah, if you're thinking I can't do this because other people will think less of me, you're the weenie. It's you. You're the problem. You're the softie.
Ladies, soup.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't get the soup thing. I just think it's funny coming from Jesse Waters because not trying to go after anyone's appearance, but like he is a very manicured and I mean, he takes care of himself.
Yeah.
So to then have these rules where like you can't cross your legs, I don't know. It just kind of
Well, you can't when you're a pretty guy like that.
Yeah, he's kind of contradicting himself a little bit.
He's an idiot.
He's like, let me put on all this makeup, but don't cross my legs.
I don't even know if he believes half of what he says.
I
He's
definitely
just
don't
an
think he
idiot who
believes.
You think
says
it's a bit?
things.
No, I think this is a bit, and I think he knows what his audience is,
Mhm.
and a lot of them probably buy it.
Well, I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know if they're buying it or if he wants people to talk about it, but it works. He's just a doofus.
Well, he and Josh Hawley and Tucker Carlson, like they're all from the same ilk.
Yeah.
They're all rich, pretty boys.
And they're all
Let's be
pushing
honest.
the same, like, we've lost masculinity.
Yeah.
So, okay. So I don't know. I've heard some of the crazy, like tanning your parts
stuff,
and all of
yeah.
that. Yeah. And from Carlson and obviously Jesse Waters. I don't know. I haven't heard any crazy things from Hawley other than saying there is a crisis with boys and men, which is actually true. I mean, it's in the Washington Post or the New York Times that like they're falling behind in reading and all that stuff. There's a very bastardized, perverted idea of what manhood is on the right. The charge is being led by 2 so-called men who have 17 kids with 12 different women or 7 different women, and they're unfaithful, small little cowards. That's the bastardized version of it. I don't know. I don't know what has Hawley said the crazy stuff, because there is actually a crisis. It's just that the right's being insane, but boys are falling behind like desperately in math and school and science and
Not
depression.
because they're drinking milkshakes.
Yeah. So what I
'Cause
want
they're not suntanning their testicles.
Was
Yeah. I don't think
Holly
it's
doing
about
the crazy stuff?
masculinity.
Was Holly doing the crazy stuff, or was he doing? Because I didn't hear him do the crazy stuff. I've
I've
only
not heard him do any lists or
Yeah.
things like that.
I've only heard the crazy stuff from Jesse Waters and Tucker Carlson. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna keep drinking shakes because they're great.
Milkshakes are so good. When was the last time you had a malt?
Been a long time.
I kind of like those.
Oh, I love them.
They're good.
When I was a kid, we had malt in a jar. And so we would make ice cream.
Yeah.
Just at like glass, ice cream, milk, Hershey's chocolate, malt, mix,
Ooh.
done.
Yeah.
That was the Glover malt.
Best.
And we had those fancy soda fountain glasses.
Oh, the tall skinny
Like a
ones?
parfait.
Yeah.
That
The
was pretty
ones
cool.
that Ponderosa used to have.
Yes,
For the
Ponderosa.
soft serve ice cream.
Yes.
Oh my
Oh.
gosh, that was the height of living.
That was the first
Oh.
salad bar, works bar I ever saw, was Ponderosa. And I just about died. It was
It's
just,
amazing.
yeah.
I had never seen like the kids you could do your own self-serve ice cream. I didn't know that until Ponderosa, and that was like the highlight of childhood.
You know, and I'm sitting here thinking about how good we had it when I was a kid, because in Granite City we had a Ponderosa and a Bonanza at the same time.
Were they? I've never been to Bonanza, but obviously, like, are they the same company?
Think maybe they
I don't
are.
know, but it's about the same thing.
Yeah. I was always I'm more team Bonanza. I like Ponderosa, but Bonanza
We did go to Bonanza more.
was first. And just like I think it was the number 4, the chop steak, which is a big hamburger,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
a baked potato and Texas toast.
Mm.
Did you ever have those, Rach? Did you miss out on Ponderosa?
No, I went to Ponderosa for sure. And the self-serve, like Amy said, the self-serve ice cream was everything. Especially because you could get the chocolate syrup, and they even had chocolate chips you could put
Yeah.
on there.
Sprinkles.
Oh, yes.
Looks like
Yeah.
they still have Bonanzas in like Pennsylvania.
Let's go.
And there's a Ponderosa in Vandalia.
What?
Oh, we can do that.
We could make that happen.
We could be there in an hour and a half.
Wow. Wow. Oh yeah, they are. They're related.
Yeah, I thought they were.
Home style dining based in Plano, Texas.
I hope they make it.
How about that?
Oh, that would be weird if they weren't related, since the Ponderosa was in the show Bonanza. That was the Cartwrights.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Cartwrights owned Lake Tahoe. That's what the Ponderosa was.
Really?
They show the
I didn't
map
know
burning
that.
at the beginning of the show. It's
Yeah.
just all of Tahoe. They were very well to do.
Amy's been binge watching Bonanza.
I love that show.
She still has it on
Oh,
VHS.
of course you do.
Little Joe.
That's when you know something's gone wrong with Amy. She's binge watching Bonanza. She's like, just screw this. Let's see what the Cartwrights are doing.
I think it's the newest show she's seen.
Amy, Chris, it's been an honor and a privilege.
Love you guys. Love you guys.
RuPaul's Drag Race is back with a wet and wild new season, and you can watch it all on MTV with Philo. With Philo, you can enjoy live TV from your favorite channels like MTV, VH1, AMC, Discovery, BET, and more. Plus, an unlimited DVR that lets you save and rewatch anything you want for up to a year. We've also got a collection of over 80,000 hit movies and shows that you can watch anytime, and the entire AMC Plus library, all for just $28 a month when you sign up at philo.tv. Enjoy Philo on your laptop, tablet, phone, or TV, and stream on up to 3 devices at once. So what are you waiting for? Dive into the splashiest extravaganza yet and start watching the new season of RuPaul's Drag Race live on MTV with Philo for an unbeatable price. To start your 7-day free trial and make sure you get the best price for the TV you love, visit philo.tv today. That's PHILO.tv.
Tell you guys about Neovitin. Been doing Neovitin now for about as long as they've been in operation. Tommy and his dad came to me those many years ago. They were in 1 or 2 mom and pop pharmacies with Neovitin, the multivitamin, and we hatched a plan together, the 3 of us, to get them into Schnucks. and they went into Schnucks and Deerbergs and all the local companies. Then they went regional. Then they went into Illinois. Then they went into Iowa. And now they are, by all practical purposes, a national company. I can tell you from my time with Schnucks, with my Foxpaw company that fixed phones, and later with Walmart, that you don't get into these places at all unless you're really good and you can make them money. And the way they make money is by moving product off the shelves. People buy Neoviten week after week, after month, after year, after decade, and they wouldn't do that if it weren't helping them. So it's all of the nutrients and multivitamins and antioxidants that our doctors think that you need, none of them that you don't. Again, you can find it at neoviten.com or go to your local Schnucks store.
Now's a great time to call Morelli Tuck Pointing, get an estimate on exterior tuck pointing, and hop on the spring schedule. Now, if you've been thinking of getting any interior brickwork or stonework tuck pointed, this is also a great time for that. Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. For 34 years, Morelli has been tuck pointing completely solid houses and buildings, repairing brick and stone walls, foundations, walkways, porches, and patios. The Morellis will also caulk and waterproof your home or building. Morelli has worked on 2 of my homes, treating them like they were their own, always leaving the job site cleaner than when they found it. And that's why the Morellis have won the Angie's List Super Service Award every year since 2005. Morelli is also a recipient of the Better Business Bureau Torch Award. Research their reviews on the Google, Angie's List, and Better Business Bureau websites. 314-645-1387 and MorelliTuckPointing.com.
KMOX KECK HD2 St. Louis.
The legendary voice of St. Louis. This is KMOX, always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 2 o'clock, it is 47 degrees downtown at the Arch. A center for soccer in St. Louis County torn apart by Friday's severe weather.
Rips and ripples in the turf, chain link fences stripped down to just the poles, and lights bent in various different directions are just some of the damage that you can see here at Creve Coeur Park Soccer Complex. St. Louis County Executive Sam Page says all of the turf soccer fields will need to be replaced.
The tornado that came through here Friday night has destroyed our 13 soccer fields.
Amongst the damage as well, a trailer that was lifted up into the air and tumbled multiple times onto some of the fields is now just a pile of rubble that remains. At Creve Coeur Park Soccer Complex, Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Attorney General Pam Bondi has announced charges against 3 people for destruction of Tesla properties as anger grows over founder Elon Musk and his government job cuts.
The Attorney General says the defendants allegedly used Molotov cocktails to set fire to Tesla cars and charging stations. One was arrested for throwing several of the explosive devices at a Tesla dealership in Salem, Oregon. Another for attempting to light Teslas on fire in Loveland, Colorado. A third person was arrested for lighting charging stations on fire in Charleston, South Carolina. In a statement, Attorney General Bondi says, quote, "If you join this wave of domestic terrorism against Tesla properties, the Department of Justice will put you behind bars." Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
Some frozen meals are being recalled.
Nestle is recalling certain batches of its Lean Cuisine and Stouffer's frozen meals. There was a report of potential choking involving wood-like material. The products being recalled were distributed between September of last year and this month and include Lean Cuisine butternut squash ravioli, spinach artichoke ravioli, lemon garlic shrimp stir fry, and Stouffer's party-sized chicken lasagna. Nestle says it's working with the Food and Drug Administration and the Agriculture Department and investigating the source of the wood-like material. Ed Donahue, Washington.
The KMOX Business Desk. Good news on the housing front. Business reporter Jason Brooks with the February numbers.
The National Association of Realtors reports that sales of previously owned homes rose 4.2% in February from the prior month when the market was expecting a decline. Home buyers have more to choose from, with inventory rising more than 5% from January and up 17% compared to a year ago.
Home prices continue to rise, up 3.8% from a year earlier to an average of more than $398,000. The Dow from Stifel down 42 points to 41,922. They've cleared debris on 270 going south at I-70. The crash has been cleared, 55 south at 270, 255. Roadwork on 70 east at First Capitol Drive's been cleared out of the way as well.
Plenty of sunshine on this Thursday afternoon, but there is a chill in the air and it stays windy. Not like the winds we saw yesterday, but it's cooler. 51 for the high, and that may be a bit of a struggle. Tonight, clear and cold, 40s for evening plans, 37 for the low. Friday, partly sunny, 64. The weekend, Saturday, sunny, 59 degrees. And on Sunday, clouds dominate periods of rain, especially in the morning, 62. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray for the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Sponsored by Interpark Holdings. The easiest way to park on game day is to park with iParkit. iParkit has the best game day parking garages in St. Louis. 2 iParkit garages are on Clark Avenue, right next door to the ballpark. Download the iParkit app and drive in and out using only your license plate. Use iParkit for convenience and peace of mind. 47 in St. Peter's, 46 in Florissant, 47 feels like 36 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
You're listening to The Dave Glover Show, sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloor.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX 204. It's like we're never going to see Amy and Chris again. I just saw them on the break.
Yeah.
But we just finished our last crossover with them. We will, of course, have them on the show, especially Chris, since he will be here doing the Gas House Gang, which he's going to be the host of, noon to 1 every day starting next Monday. So I'm sure he'll slide in and just kind of hang out with us every now and then in the 1 o'clock hour. So the DGS is the only thing not changing, not moving. Total Information AM is 1 hour less because Chris Namey started 9 a.m. starting Monday. And then the Gas House Gang featuring Chris Ranji at noon. DGS 1 to 5. And then what are we calling the 5 o'clock product?
I think it's called the Redbird Rush Hour.
Tell us about that.
So that'll be me in studio every day. Sometimes Matt will be in studio. Other times Matt Pauley, of course, will be at the ballpark. So the two of us will do almost every day. And then Bernie's going to pop in a couple of times a week. And we'll do some other things with guests here and there as well. We're just not sure exactly how frequently or who. We're still kind of playing around with that. But then in that same 5 o'clock hour, nothing changes with traffic and weather. That's still there. So we know that's a big deal, right? I mean, like,
yeah.
You're driving around in rush hour. You do want to get those updates every 10 minutes. So we're still doing all that. Nothing's changing there. It's just, essentially Cardinals content leading into either the game, pregame, or leading into Sports Open Line.
Speaking of Cardinals content, opening day, Kegs and Eggs, I think they've cut that off. I think it's sold out. You could try to get tickets for it. I know they're only single tickets, if anything, but you can go to the breakfast from 8 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. featuring Tom Ackerman and Vince Coleman, and you can get 20% off if you use KMOX as your promo code.
Yeah, and that comes with like tickets to the Saturday game too.
Yeah.
Right. So if you go to that
Big buffet,
even if you're not going
drinks
to the game on Thursday, you can do this breakfast. Vince Coleman, by the way, is awesome. Like, he's a great storyteller. He's hilarious. He doesn't hold back when he's in a setting like that. Like, he just tells great stories. Food's there. You get mimosas. You get a Budweiser. I think they have Bloody Marys, and then you get 2 tickets to the Cardinals game on Saturday also.
Rachel, I'm going to move my camera in real time.
Okay.
Because I can't see wheels.
Okay, go ahead. It's going to look cool on the stream.
Ooh.
He's holding the camera. It's getting all close
Definitely
to
not
his face.
not a steady cam. There we go, Dave.
That looks fine.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's all right.
Hey,
That'll do. Is that okay?
Dave.
Yeah.
There you go.
You know what I've noticed about myself since we've started the stream?
What's that?
I yawn.
How pretty you are.
No, not that. I yawn like 45 times a show. And it's like once I notice it, I'm like, all right, don't yawn again. And then I have to do it again 30 seconds later. And it's only in my head because I see myself doing it on the camera. I'm like, you probably look insane.
Do you do what I do? I yawn, catch myself yawning, try to stop it. And then you end up with like that crazy face. When
You
you're
guys just
like,
made me yawn.
No,
Like,
I-
just be better just to yawn. You look normal when you yawn.
Yeah.
You look crazy when you
Yeah.
try to stifle a yawn.
Yep.
No, I try to, cover my mouth every time I do it, but then that's just drawing more attention to the yawn. I swear I'm having a good time and I'm pretty awake. Like I do get a little sleepy in the afternoon, I guess, even though I have
everyone does.
my little bit of energy drink before the show. But yeah, that's just something I've noticed and I'm getting really annoyed at myself. I kind of can't stop doing it.
Oh well.
So
fine.
so again, Monday's the
Thanks,
big day that we go to 104.1 FM. I'm going to be on Fox News in the morning, if you care, with my buddy John Pertzborn, 7:50 a.m. And then I think our pal Steve Harris from KMOB is going to be doing his live hit from the studio at 4 p.m.
Nice.
Yeah.
Be very cool.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Come on in.
It's really cool being on KMOX, seeing how excited St. Louis in general is, but mostly media nerds. Like all of our media friends at television stations and even other radio. I've had so many people from other competing radio stations reach out and go like, congrats. It's really cool. KMOX needs to be on FM.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So Razor's Edge.
Okay, kind of continuing what you were talking about in the final segment of the crossover when you were talking about like this toxic masculinity and how it's becoming a problem. I saw this article in the Telegraph, not the Alton Telegraph, but the UK Telegraph, talking about how young men are being drawn to toxic masculinity because schools are not positive enough towards boys. This is according to a new report by the Higher Education Policy Institute. They say men are being left behind in society because they underachieve at school. And they're saying there's all these programs at school encouraging girls to succeed. We want girls to have role models to motivate them to achieve. Yet we seem to be intensely relaxed about so many boys growing up with few male teachers, often in single-parent households without a father, and in places where their doctor, their vet, and their solicitor, I guess that's a UK thing, are also increasingly likely to be female.
So
basically saying young men don't have
Yeah.
men to look up to in their lives.
Let me say inappropriate things. Would you guys agree that in the past few years, and this is a bit ham-fisted, a bit of a generalization, but overall, there's been a bit of okay, men, you've had your time, sit over here. And especially white men. Okay, white men, you've been running things for a long time. You've had your time. You sit over here. That's okay for a 60-year-old white man who's had his time. But for a 9-year-old white kid, like those messages make no sense if they're getting them either overtly or in subtle ways. If they're kind of being shoved to the side for girls or, kids of color or whatever it happens to be, that you can't expect young men to understand what's happening. Is that fair?
I think it's fair to say I don't know that they're necessarily being shoved aside. It's just special allowances aren't being made for them in the way it's being made for girls. Like there are many, many initiatives out there that are like, we want to see girls succeed. We want to lift girls up. And then it's like, well, the boys are not necessarily killing it academically right now. They're, in fact, like grades are lower, less likely to go into secondary education.
And isn't that interesting? Because I'm no expert on education, but it seems that that's sort of the opposite of what happened for decades in education. That, hey, girls, it's cute that you're great in math, but we got to focus on the boys.
Right. And you're going to be homemakers anyway.
Right.
That
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Right. And so it seems like, again, not an educator, but seems like the same thing's sort of happening here. We're focusing on this group. And
Yeah.
when you just don't focus on a group, they get the message.
Yeah, exactly. The special attention is being put somewhere else. Maybe we need to be focused on lifting all children up at this point, because what this study goes on to say is it any wonder that these young men look to social media for their icons and for their heroes, and often are drawn to highly toxic versions of masculinity because they've kind of never seen a normal, positive version of that in their lives. The report says lower educational aspirations, a shortage of role models of the same sex, and bias among teachers contributed to boys achieving less at school than girls.
Yeah. The problem is whenever we make course corrections, we don't often do it carefully.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I think that, as the father of a daughter, I want my daughter to have everything that I had, every opportunity, every equal chance
Yes.
as a male. I think the messaging for a little while got a little bit too hostile to where basically like any show of aggression was like, that's toxic. Like, no, sometimes things need to be met with aggression. That's just called being a human. And that was the case thousands and thousands of years ago when we were not in this kind of formal civilized place. Like sometimes these things are okay. Anger is not always bad. Like confrontation it can be bad. All of these things can be bad and be overdone. But we started lumping them all together. And it was essentially like, if you show any aggressive at all, you're one of those bad men. And, the problem is you need some of the men that have good intentions, because there are jerks. We know that. I know some. And there are others that are not that, but you need those guys to be a little bit aggressive too, because who else is going to be helping? Right. But I think that kids, depending on the ages, they're seeing that, even if it's not directed at them, they're seeing it. And then you have people like the Andrew Tates of the world that take advantage of that. They know that young men, especially, and I don't mean like 8-year-olds. I'm talking about high school, maybe even junior high. They're feeling some of that, and they're easily swayed. And what you're showing them, look at, man, we're cool, we're muscly, and we're tough. We don't take crap from no one. And you show people that are not feeling that, and they're going to be drawn to it. And then that leads to more of the bad stuff that you don't want.
And isn't it interesting that in the vacuum of true masculinity, you have these total pretend wannabe wieners who are shoving stereotypical masculinity down people's throats.
Right.
Like the Andrew Tates and Jesse Waters of the world. It's like, did you guys find a magazine about masculinity? Like, because I've been a man for 60 years and I've never thought of anything they're doing as being what defines a man.
No, I mean, like people will look at Andrew Tate and he gets some of that credibility because he's physically tough, right? He's the mixed martial arts fighter. He's in good shape. He's strong. So people will give him that nod because of those things. But that right there is not what it means to be a stable man, to be any kind of man. Like, that's not what it means. It can be a part of it. Like, that falls under the umbrella, but that's not the definition in and of itself, because there is no one definition.
No.
That's the point. What I think is you have that ideology competing with an ideology that for a little while was like, okay, all you guys are bad. Like, well, no, not all of us, but we can acknowledge that some of us are bad.
Well, you make such a good point, Kev, because if I were to say, Rachel, you're not being much of a woman right now, because here's what women are like, I'd be done. My career is over. But for men, it's celebrated to say, here's what a man is. Here's what you do, and here's what you don't do. Like, what other group could you do that with and have it be okay?
And in fairness, like, again, I'm 53, so I've been looking at this for a while. In fairness, a lot of us guys are too sensitive about criticism and stuff. Like, you can acknowledge, yeah, you know what? People that look like me, my age, that are like me a lot, they basically run everything. Mostly older than me are the ones running government, right? But who are the CEOs in the world? Who are the richest people in the world, by and large? What's the percentage of billionaires that look like me? And they're somewhere between 40 and 80, but they look like me. I can understand that. We should be able to acknowledge on an intellectual level that, yeah, you know what? People that are looking like me are really mostly running the show. At the same time, that doesn't mean that we're all bad guys that need to be checked. But, there's this weird, like, we have to pick a team. And no, you don't. We have to have nuanced conversation about good actions and bad actions. And it's not about the group that you belong to. And I thought we had covered that so many times before. But I do get a little sick of people, like, people are picking on us. Like, well, okay, but dudes picked on people for a long time. It's not okay. It's just you got to understand there's going to be a pushback. And then what we want is a balance where we stop doing it either direction.
Agreed.
Yeah, and I think I think ultimately what this study is saying is not that, anyone's picking on young men necessarily, but let's not
kind of leaving them aside, right?
Yeah. Let's not neglect young men in our pursuit of lifting young women up, because the data is showing that young men need to be lifted up as well.
Can I point out one thing that Kevin's doing as a man that screws me up?
Oh, no.
Do you know what's coming?
Am I not enough of a man?
It's when you do your rhetorical question thing.
Oh, I know.
Like
it's a power move.
Because you look right at me, and you're I'm not really. And you're like, here's my impression of Kevin. You look right at me, you're like, who runs the world? And in my head, I'm like, does he want an answer? And so then you keep staring at me, and I'm getting ready to go like, just say white man.
It's a dramatic pause.
And then I start to say something, and then you're like, I'll tell you who runs. I'm like, oh God.
That's the solo show in him.
I know.
Out,
You're totally right.
Yeah.
You're totally right. That's what that is. Because you ask yourself questions when you're a solo host. Because you're not asking anybody else. And
I
there's nobody else
wish
to
I
ask.
had my funny machine, because I would hit the fart noise. Like when you ask a rhetorical question.
Dude, I would lose it.
And the 5 seconds go by. I have to fill it with something.
I would
The only
lose
reason
if
it
you did
messes
that.
us up is because your pause is just long enough to make us start getting in our own heads and go like
it's the perfect amount of time.
and go like, oh, I thought he was on like a rant here, but we're engaging, and then you are, as soon as you start to say it,
It's so fascinating because Rachel, you're 100% right. That is exactly what you do when you're doing a show alone, and you guys are always doing a show with other people, so your timing is different. That is funny, man.
Well, no, I still listen to Sports Open Line, and Matt Pauley does a great job, but I used to love listening to Wheels because he would just, no one can rant like this guy, like for real. He would he would be asking questions
toy.
and then answering himself. I'm like, I wish I had that skill.
I am a wind-up toy.
Lots of people, you really sparked conversation here, Rach, with Razor's Edge. Our buddy Brian McKenna says, being a man isn't about respect, money, or power. A real man takes his shirt off anytime he gets the chance. All right.
He didn't say that.
I feel you, McKenna. I feel you.
I actually agree with what he said, though. Like
He's not wrong. Take it off.
Yeah. But
pop that thing off.
What it is about taking action upon the needs of others. In other words, when stuff needs to get done, get stuff done.
Yeah.
Good job.
And don't expect credit.
Good job, Brian.
Just do it.
Shirtless Brian.
Tell you guys about Michael's baths. Mike is one of the easiest clients I've ever had, and I didn't realize quite how easy until he was describing for me. He's like, hey, bath fitter and 3-day kitchen and bath and jacuzzi. Like, yeah, see their ads all the time. It's like I do what they do, but I do it better because I'm a local true craftsman who hires other craftsmen to work on my crews, who he trains to go in and do bathroom remodelings. They don't do kitchens. They don't do general construction. They're not knocking down walls. They are taking your bathroom, putting in a new bathroom in a day or 2 or 3, however extensive it happens to be, but quickly and accurately and 30 to 50% less expensive than the companies who I just told you about. So you can get a better job, keep your dollars local and family, and get it for less money. That's a pretty good deal. If you are a disabled veteran, thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice. And the VA has a benefit where you can get a brand new bathroom for free. Mike does them all the time. 636-775-0800 or michaelsbaths.com.
It is getting close to decision time for the Cardinals and their roster. This is Tom Ackerman in Jupiter, Florida. Listen for my spring training reports, the latest news as we get closer to opening day.
Hear Tom's reports, mornings and afternoons, and on Sports Open Line, on your voice of the St. Louis Cardinals, KMOX.
We get it. Attention spans just aren't what they used to be. Heads in social media and eyes on Netflix. But what do people do with their ears? Well, for one, they're listening to audio. Americans spend 4.4 hours with audio every day. Oh, and you want the proof? Well, you just sat through this ad that's now approaching 30 seconds. What could you say to a potential customer in 30 seconds? Let Odyssey put together a media plan tailor-made for your unique marketing needs. Advertise with Odyssey. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come. Visit ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-488-1329. That's 800-488-1329.
Yesterday, my friend Kevin Wheeler was kind enough to bring me a donut from the Schnucks Bakery, and oh my gosh, was it good. It was one of their like cinnamon roll donuts, and Dave can attest, I was talking about this thing all day. It was so good. One time we did a Sweet 16 of the best local donuts, and I do believe Schnucks won. Just something to keep in mind if you are thinking of shopping at the Schnucks Bakery. It is such great quality, and it comes at such great prices too. You really can't go wrong with anything at the Schnucks Bakery, but especially their donuts. You also can't go wrong when you use your Schnucks Rewards app while you're shopping. You earn 2% cash back on every single thing that you purchase. You can also use the app for personalized savings, which are savings based on what you typically buy at Schnucks. So everyone is going to have different individual savings in their app, plus tons of other digital offers and coupons. You can even use the app to do curbside pickup or delivery. And Schnucks just lowered the prices on over 2,300 items across the store. Those are just some of the everyday savings you can count on when you shop at Schnucks.
Hey St. Louis, this is Ben Barnett, board certified master arborist and owner at Timberline Professional Tree Care. As a local small business owner for the past 24 years, I always do my best to shop local and support our community. Recently, 2 of the largest tree contractors in the region have sold to out-of-town investment groups. This means that the new owners of these companies are not invested in quality, customer satisfaction, or safety, except for how it affects their bottom line. Timberline Professional Tree Care was founded in 2001 and is focused solely on giving you, the customer, the safest, highest quality product while providing the best customer service before, during, and after the job. I've poured my heart and soul into tree care for the past 24 years, and we aren't going anywhere. When it comes time to take care of your trees, I ask that you shop local and call me, Ben Barnett, at Timberline Professional Tree Care, 636-479-7475, or online at stltreecare.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 225. Rach, you have another little segment on the ladies?
Yeah, just wanted to talk about some of the challenges that young women face, too. You know, we spent the last segment talking about young men and some of their challenges. An ad watchdog called the Advertising Standards Authority is announcing a crackdown because there are so many degrading images of women in gaming apps. So, you know, those, I don't know if you ever get ads on your phone for like, play this. It's like Candy Crush, but there's like all this stuff going on. It's a different version of Candy Crush, kind of. And then they'll show you little videos. There are so many videos that pop up that portray women in compromised situations, either showing women as just purely a sexual object or portraying them in a sexual situation that is clearly not consensual. They're using this in ads for games.
Like for real companies, or they're sneaking in porn?
It's not that they're sneaking in porn. It's that they're trying to draw you into
trying to catch your eye.
Yeah.
The way they're doing. Yeah.
So this is what people, these companies think is acceptable, and this is the kind of thing people click on. So I just want to throw that out there, that it's not all peaches and cream for the girls out there too. These are the kind of challenges young ladies face when they're just, you know, trying to download something on their phone. They have to see this, and then young men are impressionable. Young men are seeing this, and their brains are being warped by this kind of imagery and this kind of, you know, impression of what women are to men. It's just so messed up and upsetting.
It was. I don't want to say it was tough growing up as a boy. When like all we had was like the Sears catalog brassiere ads, right? I mean, can you imagine now like click, and anything that your mind can conceive of is out there. That's crazy. I mean, I'm sure for girls too, but I've never been one, so I can only speak to what it's like to be a boy like that. Let me tell you guys about a good deal, and I know that some of you are doing this, and you're signing up, and you're going, and you're liking it, and you're giving good feedback. But to anyone out there who has questions about retirement, three things you can do. Let's just break it down to that. One, you can do your own research, and you can, find all the source material and figure out all the things about Roth conversions and when you're going to take your Social Security and how you're going to pay for your medical costs and all that kind of stuff. That's possible. You can do that. You can go to an individual financial planner and have them do all of that for you. Or if you're like me and you sort of like to be a face in the crowd, you can go to Retirement Planning 101, put on by my clients, Financial and Tax Architects, 3-hour course that goes over everything you can possibly think of when it comes to retirement. Some of it won't apply to you. Most of it will. And some of it will be exactly what questions you have. All you have to do is call 314-350-8110. They're not going to ask you for a credit card. They're never going to ask you for money. This truly is informational. 314-350-8110 for Financial and Tax Architects, 350-8110.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS.
Through HIMSS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Thanks for listening to The Dave Glover Show, on the air on 1120 AM and 98.7 FM KMOX.
At 2:30, 47 degrees downtown at the Arch. Embattled Minnesota Republican State Senator Justin Eichhorn has resigned his Senate seat.
Minnesota Senate Minority Leader Mark Johnson says it was the right thing for Eichhorn to do rather than force an expulsion.
This would have been a cloud hanging over the Senate. We don't need another one of those, so now we're able to get back to work.
Eichhorn is also facing federal charges of coercion and enticement of a minor after being arrested in Bloomington this week for arranging to meet with a detective posing as an underage teenage girl. Taylor Rivera for CBS News, Minneapolis.
We've got roadwork on 70 going west at 141. That's in the right lane. Also a stalled vehicle 44 east at Jamison. That's on the right shoulder. And the forecast for this afternoon, high temperature 51. For tonight, clear and cold, low 37. For tomorrow, sunshine, high 64. Right now it's 47, but the feels like is 37 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Hey, it's the Cardinal Cowboy. The beginning of a new season is a perfect time for a tune-up from my friends at Renner Garage Door. Need a new door? Get a free replacement quote today. RennerDoorSTL.com. Forward and back. Giddy up!
RENNER. When news breaks, St. Louis turns to the team that knows your community best. At KMOX, our newsroom is dedicated to delivering the stories that matter to you. KMOX News is here for St. Louis.
This is Tom Ackerman of Total Information AM.
This is Debbie Monterey.
This is Megan Lynch.
Hi, this is Michael Calhoun with KMOX News.
I'm Maria Kina.
Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
Starting March 24th, listen to the voice of St. Louis at 104.1 FM.
I see clearly now, thanks to the doctors, Birdie, Malhotra, Brusati, Royer, and Barry. You can too. Go to youridoc.com.
If you want to know what's happening with your St. Louis Cardinals, then you need to get the inside scoop from the Gas House Gang. Every weekday at noon, Tom Ackerman, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler, and Bernie Nicholas break down the latest Cardinals news with analysis only true experts can bring. Live on the KMOX YouTube channel and KMOX Sports on X, and replayed weeknights at 8 on KMOX. The Gas House Gang, sponsored by Salika Heating and Cooling and Game Day Men's Health on your home of the St. Louis Cardinals. KMOX.
Many of you know that my inspiration for becoming an accident attorney was my brother Tim, who was rendered a quadriplegic at age 18. I didn't know what a personal injury lawyer was or what they did, but I soon did. Tim was treated terribly by the insurance company, and I became enraged. It was a constant delay and deny. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Tim later worked with me for 27 years. Last year, my hero died at age 65. You can see my eulogy for him by visiting mybrothertim.com. He was one hell of a man. Because of Tim, together we built the largest injury firm in the world, and our clients are treated the way I would want my family to be treated. At Morgan & Morgan, nobody is a nobody and everybody is a somebody. If you need our help, visit forthepeople.com on your phone or computer. See you soon, Tim. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Get ready for the Cards and Astros tomorrow in Grapefruit League play. Pre-game 11:55. First pitch 12:05. Hear the game here on your home for St. Louis Cardinals baseball. KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. So I have two of my friends from Bethesda, NODA, No One Dies Alone, which I've talked to you guys about a lot. And they brought me the inside publication for Bethesda. Is called Pulse, and it features a story about me and Jackie, who's my hospice patient. And so here's my picture on the front. I just told the guys this is the worst outfit I own. The absolute worst outfit I own. But I didn't think they would want my tattoos in it. And so I wore big and bulky.
I gotcha.
And now I'm regretting it.
Wasn't it cold?
Yeah.
So you were wearing cold weather gear?
I know.
Dave, you look good. Don't
just
be so hard
shut
on
it.
yourself.
I know.
Dave's like, I'm terrible.
Because then here's me, Mr. Sensitive. Rach goes, you look good on the inside picture. I'm like, oh, so the outside picture is as bad as I think it is.
Dave, you're pretty on the inside.
So thanks for bringing those. Melissa is here, who is the head of volunteers, and I keep sending volunteers her way, and now you have to train them. So how's that going?
That's right. Well, Dave, thank you so much for all of the, mentions for our No One Dies Alone program at Bethesda Hospice Care. It has been going incredible. Since the recent publication, as well as the KSDK, we have successfully onboarded 30 volunteers.
Wow.
With a whole bunch more in the works.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is a long process of, onboarding a volunteer. It
Yeah.
can take up to 2 months.
Yeah.
But we've already added 30, so thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. She was training about 15 people the other night and most of them were from the DGS, and she asked if I would stop by and say a few words. And that's when I was sick. Just getting over, and I'm always emotional, but when I'm sick, I'm really emotional. So I literally just walked in and started crying. I pretty much didn't I? I'm just like, hello, everyone, I'm Dave. And I just started bawling, and they're like, this guy.
Did you go like, I got a cold? It's
I think I did. I think I said like, I'm really emotional. I think I might have the flu. And then Chrissy is here. Chrissy's my buddy. She was the primary person. She's a hospice nurse who took care of my mom for 4 months when she was at Bethesda. So good to see you. Yeah. So my mom makes an impression, doesn't she?
She sure does.
Yeah. It doesn't take 4 months to get to know her.
No.
What was she like when I wasn't there?
She always made me laugh. She always made me smile. She was pretty quirky.
Yes.
She was a special one. She really was.
Yeah, she's a pistol. She'll let you know what she thinks. So let's talk a little bit because people, as you know, I'm sure like if you go to a barbecue or something, someone says, what do? You say, I'm a hospice nurse. I'm sure they have questions. Like everyone wants to know these things. Just kind of in general, like what led you into this type of nursing?
Well, I worked about almost 9 years in a hospital setting, night shift, 12-hour shifts, and I was ready to shift into something new. So I went to Indeed and I was like, oh, well, hospice, that sounds pretty cool, different. So I got into hospice, and sure enough, I feel like I was called to it. I've been doing it for almost 2 years now, and I love it. Not everyone can do it. It's obviously kind of difficult at times. And
what, because the big questions that even I get, having only done this for a couple of months, people say like, well, what are the signs? How do you know this? And when do you know this? And I was peppering you with these back when it was mom. And I was trying to be as polite as I could, but I just wanted to grab you by the shoulders and say like, how long? Like, are we talking 6 months? Are we talking 6 days? Like, how in general do you gauge those things?
Well, we never know exactly how long until maybe we're in our last few days. Even so, some patients can hang on for longer than we expect. We look for changes overall, like weight loss, if they're not eating, loss of consciousness, heavy breathing, changes in skin color, changes in vital signs, decreased blood pressure, increased heart rate, fevers, multiple things. Skin color changes,
So I have the least experience of anyone there, but I tell people, see if you think this is true, that while not all deaths happen the same way, that you do start to pick up that the human body knows how to die. Right. We know how to do that.
We do.
And just like we're not thinking about breathing, we're not thinking about most of the little moves that our body's making, our body takes over and just sort of does it for us.
Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah. You don't have to try. You don't have to work at it.
No.
Melissa, how long have you been doing this?
So I've been a No One Dies Alone volunteer for 6 years, and I've been the the volunteer coordinator for close to 1 year.
And about how many people have you sat vigil with?
Oh gosh, at least 60 to 70
Yeah.
individuals over the
Yeah.
course of 6 years.
And she's really good at it. I've sat with her a couple of times. I think we should do it in pairs.
That's a great idea.
I mean, I think it really, really helps.
There are
really
some
helps me.
that do.
Yeah. I think Nick's gonna join me soon, and we'll Glover tag team people. So
Mhm. We have a mother and daughter as well, and then a husband and wife who sit
that's
vigil
very
together.
sweet. That's very sweet. What, if any, commonalities have you found with people who volunteer for this service?
Oh my gosh. So usually everybody has an experience that they've lived through on their own, which has called them to want to be a hospice care volunteer. So there's so many stories I hear from each volunteer of these moments that have brought them to think, I would love to be a part of this and give forward what somebody gave to me in the past. And I think that's one of the most common sequences I see is just they've been through something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the last one that you and I did together about a month ago, where the wife was passing away and the husband was there.
Yeah.
And he said during the vigil, I'm going to do this. Remember that? That was really
Yes,
powerful.
That was very powerful. And I can't wait to reach out to him again and check in and see how he's feeling and if he's ready to. But yeah, it does definitely lead people down the road of it's actually just a calling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you had people not be able to do it? Have you had people try and say, not for me?
I have not personally.
Oh, that's
I mean,
great.
they step up and they go through it and they're like, we've got this.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the moment, sometimes they're a little nervous or scared, but at the end of the time with their patients, they usually leave feeling empowered and enriched and, ready to take on their next patient.
Yeah. I remember it's sort of analogous. The very first show I did 25 years ago, I'd never done a radio show at all. I had no training at all. And I was scared to death. And I was sitting in the studio by myself and the red light came on. And I remember thinking, Wheels, you'll get this. No one can catch me. No one can stop me. I'm just going to run. Like it'll be really embarrassing and really humiliating, but they can't physically stop me.
That's right.
I'm bigger than they are. I'm just going to run. And then I stayed and did it. And I'm like, oh, I think you can do this.
Yeah.
It was similar the first time I sat vigil. Because the whole drive there, I'm like, this is going to be so embarrassing. You've built this up and there's no way you can do this. You're going to get in there and you're going to get scared. But I found you have so many gears you don't know. I would have never guessed in a million years that I could sit with someone who's passing away, who might pass away with me holding their hand, and be able to not just get through it, but engage. Enjoy it is a weird word, but it's been so fulfilling for me.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I don't think, it's a bad word to say that, you're encouraged by it because it is that moment that you're giving to them. And it's a beautiful thing that you are doing in that moment by providing a support and care at their end of life. So it is a very cool thing that you do. But yeah, definitely.
Chrissy, I know that you don't get as close to every patient, the same way none of us have the same relationship with everyone we meet, but you have to have those that are especially difficult.
Yes, we do. I do. Some of the patients and their families, you get really close to them, especially towards the end when you're visiting the patient every day, you're talking to the family every day. They become kind of like family to you sometimes. And some deaths are more difficult than others. We do the best we can to make sure the patient is comfortable and, their symptoms are managed. And sometimes, we can't achieve that. Well, we do the best we can, of course,
I hope this isn't too personal for both of you, but have you had experiences when you're with people who do pass away, which I have not yet, where you feel something or you sense something, or just when someone is gone, like when my mom passed and I got there about 40 minutes after she had passed, and I walked in the room and it was my mom, but it wasn't my mom. You know what I'm saying? Like there's obviously someone's alive, someone's dead, but there's such a difference. Like you really, whether you are religious or you're not religious, you believe in a spirit, you don't believe in a spirit, something leaves the body.
Yeah. I once had an experience with a home patient. She was really declining. She was 108 years old, and her daughters were just so close to her. And the morning that I just had this feeling that she was going to pass, I went to buy roses. Something told me to buy roses. I got there at the home. The daughters were at the bedside. The patient had oxygen on. So I got to the bedside too, and I gently guided the daughters. I said, let's take the oxygen off. Let's give her a little medicine. And sure enough, she passed with the three of us there. And I don't know, I just felt this weird feeling like the patient was telling me, thank you.
Wow. Yeah.
Almost like and then on the way out of there, like I could feel that she was like smiling at me, just thank you for being there and, guiding my daughters.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
That's very sweet. Yeah. The first gentleman I sat with, Ray, who I was playing the Beatles music for, and he was smiling, and I was so afraid I was going to get home and Ray would be in my kitchen. Right. I mean, like that's how I think. And I slept better that night than I usually sleep. I was so peaceful about it. And I'm not a big believer in heaven, but if I'm wrong and I fake my way in there, and I see Ray, I just feel like he'll go like, hey, you're that guy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're that Beatles guy. Right? Do you get the same feelings?
So for myself, it's a little different because I want to enter into it in a respect that I'm helping the family members as well as the patient pass. So for me, when I have been sitting with someone who passes, I'm more cognizant of the family members than I am of the person who has passed to ensure that I'm, meeting their emotional needs in that moment. So I don't have a full awareness of that, but
yeah,
maybe someday I'll be able to speak to that.
Yeah. So this is Melissa and Chrissy. Melissa runs the whole volunteer program for NODA, No One Dies Alone. Chrissy's a hospice nurse there, took care of my mom. And just basically, if you haven't heard this before, what NODA does is when someone is emergently passing within 24, 72 hours, and the family's tired or they don't have family, the NODA volunteers come in between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. We do 2-hour shifts. You can do them together with someone. You can do them by yourself. And you literally just sit with the person. You do whatever you feel is right. You hold their hand. You play music. You talk to them. You pray with them, whatever it is. And if that's something that you think would be interesting and fulfilling, how do people get involved? What do they do?
Hey, we would love for you to join us. It is definitely a calling. I want to mention that. But if you feel called to be a hospice volunteer, I would definitely encourage you to go to BethesdaHealth.com realty.org. And under the hospice page, there is a link to get a hold of me. And I would love to speak with you.
Okay. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Chrissy.
Right.
Good to see you.
Dave.
The KMOX First Pitch Breakfast presented by Budweiser is Thursday and features an unfiltered conversation with the Cardinals Hall of Famer Vince Coleman. Tables are on sale now and include a delicious breakfast buffet, bottomless mimosas, Bloody Marys, and an ice-cold Budweiser. Plus, you'll get 2 free tickets to Saturday's Cards-Twins game. Start this unofficial holiday with KMOX, Budweiser, Overhead Door Company, St. Louis Composting, Rally House, and Dirt Cheap. Get 20% off your table now by using the code KMOX. Everything you need at KMOX.com/events.
Need a lawyer? Onder wins. Call Onder Law at 314-9-MILLION. That's 314-9 all zeros. Or go to onderwins.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
Straight Realty has always been an industry leader when it comes to commissions, so it should come as no surprise that the recent Realtor settlement has only empowered us to continue offering our sellers even better rates. We now list homes for only 2%. Hi, I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. Call me, 314-441-4444. Why pay more than 2? You can also listen to my podcast on my website, straightrealty.com.
Commissions are not regulated and are negotiable. Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
So just today, I was at BioBalance Health, seeing my pals over there. There are 2 buildings. One is BioBalance Health, where you get your testosterone pellets. And I don't want to say it's like a factory or a conveyor belt, but it's just, they have the nurses there who do the procedures. Caroline is mine. Jody does Trisha's. And they're just so good and so professional and so expert at what they do. And there's always a full waiting room. And I always say that if you are thinking about getting the testosterone pellets, but you're feeling sheepish, especially for guys out there, and you don't want people to know that, you're having trouble in the bedroom or you're just not, as much testosterone as you used to have, everyone there is there for the same thing. There will be 2 or 3 guys there and 2 or 3 ladies there, and they're all just waiting for their nurse and their 10-minute procedure. So don't worry about it. Right next door, freestanding building is BioBalance Skin, where I was today, and they do things like Botox and fillers and chemical peels and microneedling. And I think this one's intriguing. I haven't done it yet, but the M-Sculpt that both Trish and I did on your belly, it's like 30,000 crunches in 30 minutes, just like this little machine that, makes your stomach contract. They have a small one that they use on your face, specifically on your jaws and your jowls, and it just tightens everything up like a painless facelift. So for all things Dr. Maupin, go to biobalancehealth.com.
The Biz Dash returns as St. Louis's healthiest happy hour. Combining fitness and fun, it's a perfect team bonding activity for any size business. All levels of runners and walkers are welcome. Join us this spring at Energizer Park, home of St. Louis City SC, for the 10th year of the Biz Dash, the ultimate office party and kickoff to summer. Thursday, May 22nd at Energizer Park in downtown St. Louis. Create your company team today at stlbizdash.com.
When we started Neovitin back in 2009, we wanted to create a multivitamin that we would take ourselves. That's why we use quality ingredients in our Neovitin Original Formula multivitamin. With over 20 vitamins and minerals, along with our physician-formulated proprietary blend, you can be sure you are getting the highest quality daily nutritional support. Give Neovitin Original Formula multivitamin a try for yourself. Find it at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, and online at neovitin.com.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-day kitchen and bath. It's all about time.
3 days or less
at 3-day kitchen and bath.
Do you love your house and hate the thought of assisted living? Whether you're caring for a loved one in your home right now or planning to live independently in the years ahead, call 3-Day Kitchen and Bath. They can completely remodel your old bathroom in just 3 days and back up their work with a 100% satisfaction guarantee on both their quality and craftsmanship.
If all you need is a new walk-in tub or easy entry shower to make your life easier, they could do just that for you. Avoid the hassle and stress of remodeling. Check them out on the web at 3daykitchen.com or call 3-Day Kitchen and Bath for your free design consultation today. 3-Day Kitchen and Bath. It's about time.
It's about time.
3 days or less
at 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
I'm Roger Brand, and this is KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
.252 DGS. Did you guys see that basically, and I'm not saying this just to crap on Trump, a little bit to crap on Trump, but that the documents for the JFK assassination were basically identical to what Biden released in 2023?
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I saw a thread from, you guys have heard him on the news, Stephen Portnoy from CBS News going through it. And he went through the whole thing and said there are very few like small things that are new. And what he said was most new was like kind of revealing about how the CIA did things back then. Mm-hmm. And maybe a lot of those were a really bad look, which is why nobody wanted it out for a long time. Not so much related directly to JFK, but just how they were conducting business in general back then.
I thought the most interesting thing I saw was from J. Edgar Hoover, who said, he put out a memo and basically said the fact that Oswald was shot is going to make room for people to fill in the blanks the way they want to fill in the blanks. And we need to get information out there to make people know that it was Oswald. Well, that can be read two different ways.
Yeah, it can.
It can be read like, hey, the jig's up, they're onto us. We need to put something out there to fool these people. Or it could just be like, hey, this is going to get out of hand. We all know that Oswald did it. Let's, cobble together whatever we can to put it out there so that people know that he did it. I've been back and forth on this.
Same.
But I'm currently at Oswald did it. He acted alone, but he was really weird. And he was meeting with Russians and he was meeting with Cubans and he was meeting with Jack Ruby. And even if they had something to do with it or encouraging him or enabling him or something, I no longer think that there were multiple shooters. I don't think that the CIA was involved. I don't think that Johnson did it. I don't think the mafia did it. I think it's basically what it looks like.
It could be. I mean, I've been open to all of those things because obviously it's been such a mystery for all those years. What I find really interesting, just looking at it after being, I don't know, it's been 25, 30 years that I've paid attention to it, right? Because before that, I just didn't care about anything like that. But it's interesting that I always wonder how much of things that are quote unquote cover-ups are to cover up for people screwing things up.
Yeah.
As opposed to covering up a malevolent action, right? Yeah. Like people messed up. Oh my God, how did we miss that? Oh my God, who dropped the ball in this?
And they always say the cover-up's the worst part.
Yeah, so I wonder about that as much now as I do the other stuff. Not just in this case.
Yeah.
Pretty much in all those types of things.
Question. I don't know the answer to this. Is Elon Musk a U.S. citizen? Did he naturalize from South Africa?
I'm sure he has at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he's got. I would very much think he's a citizen at this point. I mean, as many like companies and things as he runs out of the U.S.
Yeah, I don't know. Wheels is looking it up.
Yeah, I'm a Googling. So this one here just says he is a citizen of South Africa, Canada, and the United States.
Okay.
So he just has multiple citizenship.
Okay. Because I knew that you could work in the government, be a big part of the government. I think like Kissinger, not being a citizen, but all the stuff that he's doing and being so weird and being the richest guy in the world, that if he were also not a citizen,
Right.
that was going to make it like even worse.
I'm Tom Ackerman, and welcome to this month's Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight. This month we are talking about colon cancer, and joining us is Dr. Will Chapman Jr.
A patient is not having to go to 3 different office visits trying to manage the communication between different physicians as an intermediary. Instead, I can talk directly to my colleagues. We can quickly establish a plan.
Thanks to Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, visit siteman.wustl.edu.
Discover true luxury at Missouri's first and only standalone Genesis dealership, Genesis of St. Charles. Thank you for making us the #1 Genesis dealer in Missouri for 2024. True luxury isn't just built, it's engineered with precision and passion. Explore amazing cutting-edge technology, redefined elegance, and exhilarating performance in the new 25 GV80. A new level of luxury awaits you at Genesis of St. Charles. Visit us in-store or shop genesisofstcharles.com. Based on GMA sales records.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Here's how to get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. Our US-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you, and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
How many of you think taxes are going to go up in the future? And if they do, who will be hit the hardest? Maybe it's you, headed for retirement. You've been saving in that 401k or IRA, and that money has never been taxed. And Uncle Sam is looking at that account like it's a big, juicy steak. What can you do about it? Join the All Financial Group for their Taxes in Retirement Seminar, Tuesday, March 25th or Thursday, March 27th at Fleming's. They believe you can't have a retirement plan without a tax plan. Fund your retirement, not Uncle Sam's. Reserve your spot today by calling 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824 or online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
You've relied on KMOX for news, talk, and sports for generations. And now we're taking that experience to the next level. Starting March 24th, the voice of St. Louis will be on FM. Tune in to 104.1 FM KMOX for the same great programming, including Cardinals baseball. Now with crystal clear sound, 11:20 a.m., 104.1 FM, and streaming everywhere on the Odyssey app. KMOX is with you, however you listen.
If you're looking for a trustworthy, reliable business to work with, look no further than the Better Business Bureau. By providing valid reviews, ratings, and accreditation, you can choose from a variety of industries with confidence, knowing you've chosen someone with a proven track record of excellent customer service who adheres to high ethical standards. Don't take chances with your money. Look for the BBB seal. It's the sign of a better business.
KMOX KEZK HD2 St. Louis.
This is KMOX, the trusted voice of St. Louis. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
We've got windy conditions. It is 48 degrees downtown at the Arch. Our top story, ground broken on one of the largest infrastructure investments in the state of Missouri.
The I-70 expansion project is now officially underway after a groundbreaking ceremony was held in Forestell. St. Charles County Executive Steve Eltman is excited to see the Wentzville bottleneck alleviated for the entirety of the county.
17% of the people that go through the bottleneck actually get off in one of the next 3 exits in St. Charles County.
This stretch of the project will run from Warrenton to Wentzville and cost $600 million. It also includes improvements to I-64. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
Creve Coeur Park Soccer Complex has been severely damaged by Friday evening severe storms. According to County Executive Sam Page, all 13 turf fields will need to be replaced. So who picks up the tab? Page is hoping the federal government will.
We think this would be eligible for compensation from federal disaster funds. This is damage to a government facility, and that's how we hope to be reimbursed.
Other damage includes stadium lighting that's bent, a trailer turned to rubble, and chain link fences reduced to just the poles. STL Tech Week is coming in 10 days.
You know, it might as well just be called AI Week.
Tech STL Executive Director Emily Hemingway tells KMOX many of the sessions aim to explain how artificial intelligence intersects with everything these days, from manufacturing to nonprofits.
That's one of our biggest priorities, is making sure that every single industry, every single group knows how to leverage this powerful technology.
And first on KMOX, the AI Summit that is set to kick off the week is being moved from Worldwide Technology's headquarters to the Convention Center downtown to accommodate the huge numbers of people that have signed up to attend. The KMOX Business Desk, new signs point to future weakness in the U.S. economy. Business reporter Jason Brooks.
The Conference Board's leading indicator index continued to decline in February, suggesting a rough patch ahead for the U.S. economy. Consumer expectations of future business conditions turned more pessimistic, the biggest factor in the overall decline, followed by weaker manufacturing output. The board says due to substantial policy uncertainty and the notable pullback in consumer sentiment and spending since the beginning of the year, it's currently forecasting that U.S. GDP will slow to 2% growth in 2025.
The Federal Reserve has dialed back its forecast for GDP growth to 1.7% from the earlier projection of 2.1%. Let's get the latest on the St. Louis Business Index now to Stifel and Scott Bedell. Scott.
Good afternoon, Michael. Hello, everyone. Following the rally yesterday after the lack of action by the Federal Reserve, today was a day of profit-taking. At the 3 p.m. close, the Dow Jones Industrial Average had closed lower by 11 points to 41,953. The Standard & Poor's 500 index lower by 0.25% at 5,662, while the NASDAQ Composite Index slid 0.33% to close at 17,691. Closer to home, the Bloomberg St. Louis Stock Index also succumbed to profit-taking, falling 0.4% at 1,488. A few stocks on the increase in the local area. Spire Corporation gained 0.2% at $77.41. Charter Communications up 2.75% at $362.58. On the downside, Stifel Financial slipped 0.5% at $98.22. Belden Corporation fell 3.5% at $102.78. While Future Fuel down 2.33%, they closed at $4.16. This has been Scott Bedell from Stifel Financial, member SIPC and New York Stock Exchange. For more information on our firm, we invite you to visit our website at stifel.com.
We've got a crash on 6440 going west to Jefferson. That's just on the right shoulder. There's a stalled vehicle 44 east to Jamison on the right shoulder. Stall 55 north at Butler Hill on the right shoulder. 6440 west at 14th. The right lane is blocked.
It's the first afternoon of the spring season, but it really doesn't feel like that. It stays windy and it's noticeably cooler, but lots of sunshine. 51 for the high, so a lot of the time in the 40s. Tonight, clear and cold, 37. Friday, partly sunny, 64. 40 degrees Friday night. The weekend, kind of 50-50. Saturday, sunny and 59. Sunday, periods of rain. Let's really focus on the morning Sunday, 62. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray for the Voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
At the moment, downtown at the Arch, it's 48 degrees. The feels like is 39. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
This hour of the DGS is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloor.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. A few minutes past 3 p.m. Do you remember the SpongeBob episode where the guy dropped the pencil and he drew the other SpongeBob?
Mm-hmm.
Remember that one?
I remember the SpongeBob scribble, but I don't remember the plot.
Scribble Bob? Doodle Bob. Doodle Bob.
Yeah.
Well, yesterday I found my own version of that pencil. It was just laying on the ground.
Huh?
Okay, it was on someone's desk. And
Is it under a pineapple?
Isn't that? Yeah.
It looks chewed.
So
Wait, it's got a flat eraser.
Yeah.
Yeah, no chew. So I did all my.
So it's built that way.
Yeah.
Never seen that before.
You got a number 2
Nice.
pencil
Dave's
over
like,
there,
it's,
Dave.
You've
it's
got a
my
pencil.
precious.
What department?
It was in
That's-
C.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's no big deal.
It was
You can
sitting
take
in
that.
C.
Is that specific pencil? Like you're gonna have to try to find more of those on eBay?
No, I'm just gonna try to keep this for the next few hours. You know, like if I could accomplish that, it would be quite a
You
thing
can
for
find
me.
another one in like 3 days anyway.
So
Can't wait
that's
for
our
Google
buddy Janelle. You can find her all of her social media at Holy L, ELLE, and she does tons of stuff. And she does movie reviews for us and entertainment and so forth. But she's all over Instagram and TikTok and has tons and tons of followers. And she's our pal. I love when you pop in on the stream. It's always fun.
Is it?
Yeah, it's like
I
when you
always
said
feel like I'm annoying everybody.
No,
I was like,
no.
So then I always shut it down and go.
It made me laugh when I said, "Hey, what do you guys want more of?" And you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, I like the girl who does the movie reviews."
I mean, hey, if you're not going to advocate for yourself, right?
Right? You got to be your own. Yeah,
Right.
you got to be your own biggest fan.
Like, I'll put a vote in for me because I mean, like with this baseball season starting now, I mean, they're all the afternoon games are on Thursday, so thank you for that.
Thursdays are getaway days. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
They're either
I haven't
Wednesdays
put
or
any of those
Thursdays.
things together, like
Yeah.
when things happen.
Yeah, Wednesdays or Thursdays are almost always the day games. They're not all day games, but if there are day games, it's
Yes.
those days.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll
Yeah.
figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. We're not going to lose you. So what's new? What are you seeing? What are you liking?
Well, since I wasn't here last week, I did see Novocaine and Black Bag, both good movies. I mean, pretty much for this time of year, you know, everything's kind of just okay.
Yeah.
Last night, the night before last, I saw Snow White. And I wanted to talk about, there's two things about the live action Disney remakes, because those are just not going as well as probably what Disney enjoys. Because I think Mufasa did okay, the original Jungle Book and Beauty and the Beast, but those were like 2016, 2017. I'm going to sniff. But they've been trending downward as far as anticipation, excitement, and we go one of two directions, just why we think that is, and two, one of the reasons that this Snow White seems to have some tanking is the fact that both of its stars have been, well, I don't know if Gal Gadot has been that outspoken for, you know, being in the IDF, but she is a known Israeli. Rachel Zegler has been very pro-Palestine. She has also said other things about the Snow White 1937 movie, about it being dated but social media now has given these actors a platform to say things. There was a story out by Maya Hawke, Ethan Hawke's daughter, that producers are looking for actors, quote, /celebrities with big Instagram followings. So this way it makes marketing and publicity easier. But does that backfire for when then they do take a stand and they say something that's controversial and people hate? Then it can tank said movie because they are putting a lot of the responsibility on why this may not be good, not on the fact that Snow White probably shouldn't have been remade, but these stars are saying things and now everybody's like, well, screw her. I'm not going to go see that
That's
movie.
interesting. Double-edged sword.
Yeah. So
Because the past tweets from, and I apologize, I don't know her name, but the transgender actress from Amelia Perez.
Correct.
Just tanked that
Carla.
thing.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
tanked any chances they had at winning an Oscar. Correct. Yeah. So yeah, and it's like, is that something now that the newer generation of actors and actresses are experiencing? Because I mean, like anything you've read about like Jack Nicholson, he was like a terrible person, you know, like away from, but everybody will go see his movies because he's a great actor. Robert De Niro, I can't speak on him about what he does away, but these people didn't have the access, or we didn't have the access to them.
They weren't putting it out there.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Right. I mean, now they could have been interviewed by somebody and said something stupid,
Like
but
the Sean Connery thing.
right. But did he
About
really
slapping
suffer?
women?
Yeah.
Right. But did he really suffer from it?
No, but he was already past his prime, I think, when
Right.
he did that.
True.
The Rachel Ziegler thing is really interesting because it just bothers me that she seems to have a problem with Snow White, but you're Snow White.
Yeah.
Right.
That would, I think, color the way I saw that movie in theaters. Like I feel like I mean I haven't seen it yet. I'm wondering if you were thinking the whole time like you don't even want to be here.
Well,
That's what it
was-
feels like.
Yeah, it was very obvious that they changed the story. Now, I don't think it was due to her complaints.
Okay.
But I think you could definitely tell they stepped away from they're trying to move away with these live action ones that it's less these princesses are all about the guys and getting the guys and then that makes their life complete. But then don't mess with the classics. I mean, you're trying to you're taking a movie that already had like 1,000 red flags in today's era, and then you're like, well, let's remake it. But we're gonna have to change a whole bunch of it because
Yeah, how do you argue that it's not dated? Of course it's dated.
Of course it was dated. It's made
1937.
it's made almost 100 years ago.
Yeah.
This is what I wouldn't diminish the impact of the social media stuff because it's obviously bigger, but like it's also recycled. It's the same stuff that people grew up on generations before. So why would you? Do you have no new ideas?
Yeah.
The problem is the ideas are risky.
Give this generation
This is low risk, and they're
There's
shooting
Snow
low.
White.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is the problem, though, is when you're shooting low, you don't have much room for error. Because if
Right.
you're off, everybody's out. Everybody's out. And you got to live up to a standard that is probably impossible because most of the people that love those things loved them when they were children.
Yeah.
Not now when you look at them and go, wait, what?
So
I
how
think
was the movie? If you just
it was okay. There, regardless of what you think about Gal Gadot, she's a beautiful human being. I mean, but she has no acting range. Like I put in my TikTok that if humanity was based off of Gal Gadot's range, we'd all be in trouble.
Wow.
Yikes.
Yikes.
She doesn't have it. And that's fine, but let that tank the movie. You know, let those things tank the
Yeah.
movie before, like, again, people had already made the decision not to go see it due to these actresses and what was going
Yeah.
on in their personal life.
Selfishly, is Black Bag just a redo of Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
No. It's very much in the Soderbergh vein of like Ocean's 11, same kind of lighting, same kind of music. Very good, very fast. It drops you off like right into the action and goes until the end. Soderbergh is known for very witty, sharp dialogue. It's very snappy back and forth. Fassbender and Cate Blanchett are like masters in their craft. It was great to watch. My complaint about it was so good. I wanted more backstory about where they worked and the side characters they had. But it was like it started off and ended so fast that it was like, oh, I want more. So it was
good.
It's a decent movie. It's again, if you want to watch people that are really good at what they're doing, see that movie. Yeah.
Yeah. One more sub-selfish thing.
Sure.
In that vein, did The Gorge suck?
I don't think it sucked. I think it was missing thing. Like to me, I didn't care. I cared less about the love relationship building between the two characters. And I was more interested in this shadow company who was doing all the work in the gorge and how did this come about and more backstory about the history and that I felt like, but that could be just a selfish personal thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, overall, I think people enjoyed it for being able to sit at home and watch it.
Did you ever see Polar with Mads Mikkelsen, where he's a hitman?
No.
Oh, you got to see that.
do.
Yeah, promise me
I
you'll watch
did
that.
see the Michael Fassbender, I think was
Killer.
Yes.
Yeah, that was good.
I enjoyed that.
He's good and everything.
He's good and everything.
I love him.
Yeah, he's so good. I think you'd really enjoy Black Bag with him in it. Yeah, he's very low key, very monotone, not expressive. So you might be like, but that's just who he's very analytical. That's who his character is. So.
Did you guys like Mr. and Mrs. Smith outside of all the kerfuffle?
Never seen it.
Oh,
The
wow.
original one or
the one with Brad and Angelina?
I saw that. Yeah.
I did, but now that they're divorced and it's so
acrimonious.
yes, between them, I can't.
It's hard
I don't
to
think- I
watch.
couldn't watch it. I can't
Yeah, I
watch
had
it.
a hard time with it. I don't remember why. I don't remember liking it very
Big
much.
words.
Yeah, probably too many. Way too many thoughts.
Hey, your monkey movies on I think Peacock or Paramount.
Let's watch that
Which one's
together.
that one?
The monkey movie. We talk about this every Thursday.
Yeah, the singer monkey. Yeah.
Which one is that?
for 6
Yeah.
months?
Well, there's a lot of monkey-themed movies lately.
well,
'cause
yeah,
you
and
had
I
the
always-
monkey,
whoever
and then you
does-
had Monkey
You're
Man.
not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not
Whoever
wrong.
I appreciate whoever was doing the titles for the podcast because it was always like Janelle and monkeys and it was like for 3 weeks straight. And I was like, I kept telling people, I'm like,
Janelle's our
I don't-
monkey expert.
I'm not doing anything, people. It's
So did you see Monkey? The new one?
no. And I actually kind of actively, after it came out, I kind of actively avoided it just because I heard about how bloody and gross it was.
Okay.
Which didn't help because then I had to go see Novocaine.
Yeah.
And that's just, it was good. But I think they were running with the shtick of how many terribly gory positions can we put a kid in that's not supposed to feel pain into. So, like his
okay.
character doesn't feel pain. So it's just, the movie just kept going on with like, let's stick his knuckles in glass and have
Gotcha.
him put his hand in some boiling. You're just like, okay.
Kind of one joke over and over.
Yeah, and it just got more gross as the movie, and I have a threshold.
Yeah.
And it met it. It met it.
What are you seeing this week?
Tonight I see Death of a Unicorn. I'm actually really excited about that one. It's an A24, and A24 is always a little weird. So yeah, I saw The Penguin Lessons last night with little indie film Steve Coogan and Jonathan Pryce. I ended up crying at the end of it because of a stupid penguin, but
At least it wasn't a monkey.
not this time. I'm sure there's more monkey movies on the horizon. Yeah, so yeah, tonight I'm excited about this one tonight.
Good. All right. Hang out. Another segment. Quick break. Right back. DGS.
The voice of St. Louis. News that matters to you. KMOX.
Hey St. Louis, this is Ben Barnett, board certified master arborist with Timberline Professional Tree Care. In my nearly 30 years in the industry, I've seen firsthand what damage falling trees can do to your property. The sad thing is that most trees that fail have defects that can be identified by a well-trained certified arborist. At Timberline, we have 7 ISA certified arborists, 3 of which have gone through extensive training and testing to become tree risk assessment qualified. Our track certified arborists can perform a thorough assessment of your tree and provide mitigation options for your peace of mind. If there's nothing wrong with your tree, we will let you know that it poses a low risk of failure. If it needs to be removed, we'll tell you in a detailed written report. It's all about honesty and integrity here at Timberline Professional Tree Care. So call us today to get a tree risk assessment scheduled. 636-479-7475 or contact us through our website at stltreecare.com.
All right, springtime's here. Your lawn is growing. You want to make sure the weeds aren't going with it, number one, and you want it to look great. I know I do, but I don't want to do it. I don't want to be the one that figures out what to put on and when to put on and get the little spreader onto that. I don't have to bother with any of it because I work with True Green, and you can find them at truegreen.com. We've been using them for at least a dozen years, probably more like 14 or 15 years, because it's so easy. They're experts in this field. They are the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour. They know exactly what they're doing. It's affordable. And if you want to check, go ahead. You can go to truegreen.com and start to look around. You can make a couple of phone calls because they will match any competitor's price. So you're not going to beat the deals. They back everything they do up with a satisfaction guarantee. So if you're ever unhappy, and I don't think we've ever done this, but if you're ever unhappy, you call them. They'll come back between visits to make it right. So if there's weeds sprouting up that you didn't like or you don't expect to see, they'll come back out and make sure that it's right. So do yourself a favor, set it up so you don't have to be the expert. TrueGreen.com, and then you can let the pros do the work while you sit back and enjoy the results.
Ever feel like there aren't enough hours in the day? If you get busy or miss your favorite show, don't worry. With Rewind, available exclusively on the free Odyssey app, you can stream your favorite shows on demand. You know your day is better with us. Get the news that matters to you from the local voices you trust. No matter what you're up to, give it a try. To get started, download the free Odyssey app and search for your station. That's AUDACY.
Stream last night. You were in a car crash and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. An important message about your timeshare from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. Contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about timeshare cancellation.
Call 800-408-4040. That's 800-408-4040.
This is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
You never got a sense of how big the community was until we all pour into this auditorium. 4,000 or 5,000 people. We're all here for the same reason. Real estate investing, living the lifestyle.
That's April on her Expo Experience. It's coming again. Join Del Walmsley and Lifestyles Unlimited for Expo 2025, May 7th through the 10th in Irving, Texas. Get hands-on training from successful real estate investors and learn proven strategies that work. Find out more and save $100 when you text Expo to 88007, EXPO to 88007.
Welcome back, DGS 324. Our pal Janelle is still here with us. We had a streamer ask, have you seen The Electric State? Big disparity between critics and audience reviews. Curious what you thought.
I didn't see. Is this the one with Millie Bobby Brown, I
Yes,
believe, right?
yes.
I didn't see it. That's not rare, though, to have a movie that's just either the critics really love and the audience hates, or the audience love and the critics hate. I mean, that's not unheard of. I think it happens, I wouldn't say more than, a lot of times you'll see a lot of common ground, but I think a lot of criticism she gets is because she made the statement again, once again, these young, I'm not faulting them because they're asked questions, so obviously they can't not answer them, but I don't know if they need better media training, perhaps better PR.
Everybody needs better that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because she was like, I don't watch movies. I've never seen them. And everybody's like, we can tell by the movies you're choosing to be in that you don't know
You
anything.
don't watch movies.
You don't
about
know
the-
what's good.
Right, about the industry.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's another one of those where you're like,
This is the most judge a book by its cover thing ever. But just based on the previews I've seen of the movie, I'm just like, yeah, I don't think that's for me.
yeah, I have, like I said, I had seen a couple weeks ago Death something Dead, whatever, I believe the Japanese film that was kind of like John Wick, but it was so
Oh, yeah.
over, like I've got a threshold for how much bad I can see at one time. It's just I don't want to hate movies.
Yeah.
But this time of year, it can wear on you because nothing too good is coming out.
Let's talk baseball.
Okay.
I love this about you.
Okay.
You go to the games.
I do.
You get your food before the game.
I do.
You sit by yourself.
I go when the gates, I am there when the gates open. I am actually mad if I am like second or third in line at the gates. I want to be there when the gates open. I'm standing there with my scorebook and I am ready. Yeah. Thank you.
I shouldn't call her cute, but it's pretty damn cute.
It's pretty dorky.
When did
but
you start that? How did you start that?
Okay. So, I mean, I think everybody that lives in St. Louis, you are a Cardinals fan. I think it's just like they stamp it on your birth certificate. You're a Cardinals fan, right? So I have pictures from when like my parents had season tickets, and they used to have things where you could go down the field and they would have the players lined up like behind a thing and you could shake their hand and take their pictures. And I know this because I have pictures of like Willie McGee and Greg Matthews, who I thought I was going to marry, and
didn't we all?
Yes, Vince Coleman and Terry Pendleton. I have pictures of, little 9-year-old me shooting up at these bigger than life baseball. So I love baseball. My first job was working the batting cages at a little league park. Like I've just always been around it. My brother played. I have no athletic skills, so I transfer my love onto the people that I watch play.
Good, that's cool. This is probably going to change the whole way you look at me, but I once grounded out off of Greg Matthews, so to second base.
Well, I mean, there was just something, but I just thought, like I said, thought I was going to marry him.
He was at our Busch Stadium thing.
Say, I might text him that. Dear Greg.
No, I told him.
Well,
he was like, "Oh, you're the guy."
But my grandma was really big into baseball. Has a signed autograph picture that I got when she died of Stan Musial, and she was a big scoring every game and stuff like that. And when she died, I felt like it might sound kind of cheesy, but I thought there's nobody else in the family that's going to take this up.
Yeah,
so.
Good
Let me do it. And I didn't know where to learn. I probably could have found something online to do it, but I did get a book. It's Bob Carpenter's scorebook for anybody out there that's out there, the TV version.
Yeah.
And yeah, I keep track of who's in the bullpen, who's on the bench, pitching right-handed, left-handed, what their batting averages are, home runs, stolen bases, all that stuff. And yeah, I've enjoyed it. I taught myself and score every game.
It's not intimidating to Mint at all. Not at all.
Jeez. It shouldn't be.
Oh, by the way, Ivan's no longer on the project. His wife got a new job, so they're moving across the country.
Robin's top researcher is deviating to a new market. This isn't standard.
And now we're short-staffed. Who's going to finish all these projects?
She needs a cluster of new data analysts, and there's no margin for error.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a realtor, here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
3:30, 48 degrees downtown at the Arch.
Chimps are my whole thing. You can shape them into being you.
The federal license has been revoked for the woman behind HBO's Chimp Crazy. After years of pressure from PETA, the USDA will prevent Tanya Haddix from legally selling USDA-regulated animals. It'll also keep her from operating her safari experience at the Lake of the Ozarks. PETA spokeswoman Brittany Peete.
Tanya Haddix made clear after Chimp Crazy aired that if her license was terminated, she didn't intend to comply and that she, in fact, planned to illegally circumvent any termination by conducting business through someone else's license.
PETA is offering a $5,000 reward for verifiable evidence that she is violating that order. Stalled vehicle 44 going east to Jamison. That is on the right shoulder. Stay tuned for Dave Murray with all the latest on the weather coming up. Right now 48, but the feels like is 39 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Hey, it's the Cardinal Cowboy. The beginning of the new season is a perfect time for a tune-up from my friends at Renner Garage Door. Need a new door? Get a free replacement quote today. RennerDoorSTL.com. Forward and back. Giddy up!
RENNER. There's nothing like it. The crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd, and the timeless voice of Cardinals baseball.
A swing, and there's a high fly ball. That's in the deep left field. It might go. It's a gunner.
Now, you can experience every pitch, every play, every win in crystal clear FM sound.
Big fly, Alec Burleson.
Starting March 24th, tune in to 104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of the Cardinals, now stronger than ever.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
If you want to know what's happening with your St. Louis Cardinals, then you need to get the inside scoop from the Gas House Gang. Every weekday at noon, Tom Ackerman, Matt Pauley, Kevin Wheeler, and Bernie Nicholas break down the latest Cardinals news with analysis only true experts can bring. Live on the KMOX YouTube channel and KMOX Sports on X, and replayed weeknights at 8 on KMOX. The Gas House Gang, sponsored by Saliga Heating and Cooling and Game Day Men's Health on your home of the St. Louis Cardinals. KMOX.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce.
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Earlier, I was telling you guys about Michael's Bath. Let me do it for you again. And I totally get that if you are not interested in rehabbing a bath, redoing your bathroom, then you couldn't care less about Michael's Bath. Like maybe you think like, good for you, Dave. I know you guys live for, the advertising and it keeps the DGS on the air, but it couldn't mean less to me. Got it. Totally understand. When I'm watching television, most ads don't apply to me. But if it does, if you have talked to your family at some point about, if we're going to sell this house, we really need to redo the bathrooms, or the converse, if we're not going to sell this house, we really need to redo the bathrooms. Mike is local. It's family owned and operated. He's really, really good at it. He's been doing nothing but bathroom remodeling now for 30 years. He does the same thing that Bath Fitter does, but he does it better, local, family, 30 to 50% less. He can show you line by line why it costs what it does, what materials he's using, what the labor is going to be. If you are a disabled veteran, there is a VA benefit that you can get Michael's work for free, get a brand new bathroom for free. Call 636-775-0800 or michaelsbaths.com.
Get ready for the Cards and Astros tomorrow in Grapefruit League play. Pre-game 11:55. First pitch 12:05. Hear the game here on your home for St. Louis Cardinals baseball. KMOX.
Good tune, Rach. Quick break.
All right, go to a break.
Out we go. And there you have it. Quick break, right back, DGS.
Boom.
Dave Murray joins us. Hello, Dave.
Hello there.
How often did you just screw up on TV? Just like I just did. Just a gaffe.
I would say on the average 2 or 3 times a month.
Oh,
I was gonna say we have an average. This is great. How many of those wonderful news bloopers did you witness in person?
That I was responsible.
Just know that
for?
you were there and there, because I mean, like, one of my favorite things is going through and watching highlight reels of news bloopers. People say funny things.
Oh,
or
yeah.
you get a weird story like the Chris P. Bacon and the lady can't stop laughing because she's reading the pig's name.
Yeah. We had one guy at the station. He's still there. I don't know if he still does it, but he used to compile the blooper reel.
Yeah.
And I was, if there were a couple of hours of bloopers, I was probably responsible for 10 minutes of it.
All right, so
did
minor contributor.
Did management get
No,
mad?
not really.
Did management?
They were good. They were good bloopers.
Did the bosses get mad at you guys, or did they like
No,
it
never-
when you would break up?
No, never heard at all.
Yeah.
One way or the other.
It's got to be good, right?
I would
it's
think so.
live. Yeah, it's live television. They know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't say anything weird or problematic, but there were just things that didn't work, especially when the computer graphics came into play. That always, especially the early years,
Yeah.
they fail all the time. And then you just had I had a hard map. I actually had a drawn map that I kept right off camera. So that when the computer went down, just pulled it out and held it up and drew on the map.
So, Dave, as you well know, last Friday we had all the storms and, 2, 4, and 5, 11, they were all covering it in real time. And it was very exciting. And, they have all of these resources. Let's go to this map and let's change it to that. And let's go infrared. Let's this and this. You obviously didn't have a lot of those things. So when it was real storm time, what were you drawing from?
I had a lot of cameras. We had Chris Higgins was out in the storm mobile, and that was good. But it would draw on cameras all the time. Would draw on information. The newsroom would feed me every once in a while. But all the graphics were in play. The radar was in play, and I was pretty good. At least I considered myself pretty good of going back and forth with the radar and really isolating where possible tornadoes would be, where large hail would be, where wind would be, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Good times. Good times.
How are we looking for the weekend?
The weekend looks kind of 50-50, but leading up to that, it's been windy again today. And guess what? We have more wind tomorrow.
Wow.
Fire danger is very high, especially off to our south and southwest. There's been a number of wildfires in Missouri. I think the closest is probably Reynolds County. Dust all over the place, pollen all over the place. Winds will die down once the sun goes down tonight. It's kind of cold, 40s this evening, 35 for the overnight low. Friday, partly sunny, but the big deal is wind gust of 40 miles per hour on Friday, 67 for the high. Windy most of the night on Friday, certainly through midnight, 39. Saturday, the nice day of the weekend, sunny and 59. Rain moves in late Saturday night. I'm thinking after midnight, 47. And Sunday, morning showers. Most of those showers should be over by noontime, but I think the clouds hang around and 65 degrees. There's no big cold in sight, but there's also no big warmth in sight either. Kind of floating around where we should be much of next week.
Okay. And today's first day of spring, right?
It is. It started at 4:01 this morning.
Okay. I think I was peeing.
That's okay.
Headlines, Rach?
Yeah, Headlines is brought to you by Schnucks. Reward yourself daily by the Schnucks Rewards app. President Trump is being urged by Ben Stiller, Paul McCartney, and hundreds of other celebrities to protect AI copyright rules. They basically don't want these AI companies to have unfettered access to all of this licensed content, which is what they're going for. They say they firmly believe that America's global AI leadership must not come at the expense of our essential creative industries. So the argument from the AI companies is, hey, you guys, if you don't let us use all this material, China's going to beat us. And these actors are saying there has to be another way for us to meet our goal without you coming in and pillaging our content.
I think that'll be a tough call for Trump because he's kind of in bed with the big tech and Elon, but I think he loves doing famous people favors. So when Hollywood is nice to him, which isn't very often, and says, hey, sir, we could really use your help on this, I bet you that there's a part of him that would love to be the guy to say yes. Does that make sense?
It does.
Are we getting to the point now where every threat's going to be, well, if we don't do it, China's going to do it?
Oh, yeah.
That sounds like the threat you got at a dinner table when you were a kid.
Which is, and maybe it's true,
A new TikTok challenge involving gel-filled toys is landing kids in the hospital with chemical burns. Kids, not kins. I can't talk.
None of us can. We're all struggling today.
So
blooper reel.
Yeah, blooper reel. That's like me every day on headlines. So there's a toy called Nido. It's a squishy stress cube made of rubber with a polyvinyl alcohol filling. You put it in the freezer and then microwave it for several seconds to make it more malleable. Yeah, there are little kids who are doing this. It's getting too hot. They're playing with it and then it's exploding. And
Yes, that stuff scares me. That has always scared me.
Yeah, it's not good. If
Silly putty scared me.
What?
It just, I mean, I played with it and you could, use the comic page.
Yeah.
To spin it out. That was all cool.
You
but
can
it
get
was
Snoopy
like,
on there.
What am I really playing with? What is this stuff?
I liked biting it.
I did too.
Biting it?
Yes, it had a great snap to
Great
it.
snap. Oh my gosh. I remember
Tasted like. Ugh.
I was sitting in class chewing on Silly Putty one time, and my crush, I was in like 4th, 5th grade. I don't remember. My crush turned around, looked at me, shook his head, and turned back around. And I was like, hey, you're never going to stop me from chewing on this Silly Putty.
That's over. That's
Don't
over.
even care about this crush anymore. I choose the Silly Putty.
I have a Silly Putty story here.
let's hear it.
The guy that created it was trying to find a replacement for rubber, and he just never came out right. Then I
Yeah.
guess he set it on, Beetle Bailey and picked it up. He's like, oh, hey.
And look, I can stretch his face out. And then it bounces. When you roll it up in a ball, it'll bounce off the walls. It's great.
Tesla is recalling most Cybertrucks due to the trim detaching from the vehicle. Wheels has been talking about this all day off the air. An exterior panel that could detach while driving. The recall comes as Tesla faces challenges, including rising competition and backlash against Elon Musk, the CEO. The company will replace the faulty panel to prevent road hazards and crashes.
So, an alleged genius has his company build a truck where parts can just fly off it on the highway because they're gluing them on. Like every other truck on the road is bolted together. How can you just glue panels on? What?
Did I make this
How is
up?
that a good thing?
Did I make this up? Or when he first rolled it out, did he try to show how the glass was unbreakable and it shattered?
Yeah, I don't remember.
It didn't shatter, but it broke. It wasn't like and now it's in a million pieces, but he had like a lead ball or something that he threw and it went through. It
I
was
thought
bad.
there are a lot of videos like TikTok, Twitter videos where people are basically just pulling pieces off of one. Like they buy a Cybertruck to do this because it gets them enough views that it's worth it. And the guy's just there, he's like ripping off panels and he's just like, it just came off, man. What's going on? And I thought that was a lot of like kind of BS. Like I thought they were just exaggerating. Apparently not.
According to a new study, marijuana users are 6 times more likely to have a heart attack, especially younger marijuana users. Adults younger than 50 who don't have any comorbidities. They did a study and it showed they were 6 times more likely to have a heart attack. So watch
Did they
out,
say
folks.
why? Did they say what the connection was? I'm
No.
asking for a friend.
No, they just say that cannabis use is linked to adverse cardiovascular events. So watch out there, people. The CEO of Amtrak is resigning. This is weeks after Elon Musk said that the rail service should be privatized. Amtrak has seen record ridership and revenue in recent years, but it does continue to face financial challenges. They don't want to go into privatization. They say its mission is to serve rural communities and historical underfunding. They operate intercity passenger rail services across the U.S. and Canada with over 22,000 employees. So
I didn't know they weren't private.
I want to see Amtrak succeed. I don't understand the business model as it is right now.
Yeah.
It will take you. Our buddy Brad Range, who works on the Annie Fry show, had tweeted at Amtrak recently. He said, "How long would it take me to get from St. Louis to Orlando?" And it was something like over a day. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah, 'cause you got a million stops. And
I was hopeful that Phoebe could take the train from St. Louis to Lawrence which you can, but it's like 27 hours.
Yeah,
Because you have to go like through Iowa or something.
Who would do? I mean,
Yeah.
there are people out there who would do it, but what's incentivizing a
Yeah.
person who has a car or has the money for a
Yeah.
plane ticket and the ease of that? One more story for you here for headlines. Amazon is ending a little used privacy feature that let Echo users opt out of sending recordings to the company. So we've talked about this on the show before. Andrew's talked about how his Echo has stored some of his recordings that he would make like in the shower and stuff.
Yes.
They are getting rid of the option to not send those voice recordings because Amazon says they need to expand Alexa's expanding capabilities, which rely on cloud processing.
So they rely on spying on us.
Yes.
Essentially, yes.
Pretty much it.
Now, the feature was rarely used. Most people were just going for it and probably not realizing what was going on. Less than 0.03% of customers were utilizing that feature. So they're just going to go ahead and eliminate it. Users can still choose to prevent Alexa from saving voice recordings, and existing users will automatically be switched to do not save recordings option.
Do you think they can see it through your TV?
Who's they?
You know,
well, is
the people
there-
who want to watch me naked.
Is there a camera?
I don't know.
Yeah. Most of the new TVs have cameras, just like the computer does.
The little top one?
Yeah.
Everything's computer.
Yeah. So they've seen you naked, Dave.
Dang it.
Yeah. Join the club.
Yeah.
Royal
You should
pay.
hey, but you should get paid for that.
Even I try to avoid that.
You should get paid for that though, man. That should be an upcharge.
I squint when I get in the shower.
Yeah. Or
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it.
You got it.
So some things in life are black and white. Some things are yes or no, in or out, pretty easy. Finances are not, and retirement certainly is not. And so you may think that you have your retirement nailed down and you've saved a lot of money and you have a really good idea of it, and you probably do. But I'm saying this because a little bit of nuance, just a little bit of advice from an expert could really save you money or really put you in a direction that you weren't going previously, that's going to help you live comfortably even longer. I say all this to encourage you to call and create a space for you and your spouse, you and another couple at Financial and Tax Architects Retirement Planning 101. Not everything we talk about will be completely applicable to you, but everything that you're wondering about, we will talk about. I hope that makes sense. Every question you have will be answered during those 3 hours. Even if you have to just raise your hand and say like, hey, what about this? We will have answers for you. It costs you nothing. It'd be cool if you brought 3 canned goods, which we're going to give to St. Louis Crisis Nursery. But all you do is show up, bring a notebook, take notes, learn, and apply it to your life. They're held a couple times a month at colleges and libraries around town. Call 314-350-8110, 350-8110 for Financial and Tax Architects, 314-350-8110.
Now, KMOX traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com traffic center.
This traffic report's a service of Volley Inc. If you're on westbound 70 headed home, it's just a little busy at the city limits around Jennings Station, but we have slow traffic at TR Houston at Jams at Bryan Road. They just cleared a crash. It was in the left lane, but it looks like it's been cleared to the shoulder westbound 70 right at 61. So pretty backed up in the Westplex. You don't normally see that. Westbound 64 Science Center to McCausland slow. You got heavy traffic approaching 94 midway to Winghaven, then west of Winghaven out to 70. So there's a lot of busy traffic on that run as well. Southbound 270 bogs down south of Pageville by Clayton Road. After that, it's just a little busy past 44. North 270, the right lane stores have been way up to 70. Look a little slow. Southbound 55 south of Arsenal to Bates. Z down through McNutt is heavy. Of course, northbound 67 jam from Buck Creek up to Double C downtown. You've got the heavy traffic both ways on 64 between 3rd Street and the Poplar, and westbound 44 past the bridge is a little slow. Eastbound 70, that emergency repair work east of the 3 Eyes, there's a jam there as well. I'm Roger Brand at the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Brought to you by Volley.
Volley.
Level up game night with Volley, the smart TV app for playing games like Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, or test your knowledge with fun music quizzes and party games. Turn your TV into the ultimate game hub with the Volley app on your Roku or Fire TV. Download it and play today.
Volley.
The KMOX First Pitch Breakfast presented by Budweiser is Thursday and features an unfiltered conversation with the Cardinals Hall of Famer Vince Coleman. Tables are on sale now and include a delicious breakfast buffet, bottomless mimosas, Bloody Marys, and an ice-cold Budweiser. Plus, you'll get 2 free tickets to Saturday's Cards-Twins game. Start this unofficial holiday with KMOX, Budweiser, Overhead Door Company, St. Louis Composting, Rally House, and Dirt Cheap. Get 20% off your table now by using the code KMOX. Everything you need at KMOX.com/events.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Ready to make lake life a reality? With Anywhere Lombardo at Lake of the Ozarks, you can build a home designed just for you. Whether it's a cozy retreat or a luxurious lakeside escape, our custom designs bring your vision to life, set against stunning lake views and peaceful surroundings. The perfect balance of relaxation and adventure. With a trusted builder backed by long-standing vendor relationships, you'll enjoy cost savings and superior quality from start to finish. Start your dream home today with Anywhere Lombardo. Visit lombardohomes.com to learn more.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
At Skechers, we put the S in comfort.
Wait. Skechers put the S in comfort?
Yes, comfort you have to feel to believe. Skechers, we put the S in comfort.
Let me try. Okay, I'm just stepping in and... Oh, wow. Skechers put the S in comfort.
Duh. We told you.
Find Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
It's official. KMOX is moving to FM. Starting March 24th, listen to the voice of St. Louis at 104.1 FM.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 353. Today is Happy International Day of Happiness. It's kind of weird.
All right.
What's weird
Just
about
be
it?
happy today.
Just the way the alliteration. Happy International Day of Happiness. They do these happiness studies, and the U.S. hasn't done great lately. And we have dropped to the 24th happiest country. And we have the lowest happiness score the USA has ever had.
Yeah, a lot of that has to do with people under 30 are reporting that they're so extremely unhappy. It's really dragging the average down.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Do they say why they're unhappy?
Feeling like they don't have support was the main thing I saw in the article I read. I think 1 in 5 young adults said they don't have anyone in their life that they can go to for advice or to rely upon. So that's really sad.
Yeah, I heard a strange thing, but I heard that a part of it was more and more Americans are eating meals alone when they don't want to. So there's just like a loneliness epidemic out there. Very sad.
It is sad.
Texas woman hit the lottery for $83 million, but they won't pay her because she used a courier app called Jackpot. So 9% of people who buy lottery tickets in that state use that app, and it's a delivery service, like a DoorDash.
Interesting.
But she won 83 mil, and they're telling her, doesn't count, you have to buy it yourself.
So how is the courier service even
I don't know.
existing?
Yeah.
If you've tried and failed every ED treatment, there's another fix that could work for you. It's same-day surgery, it's minimally invasive, and is performed by South County urological physicians. Hundreds of men have come to us for this outpatient procedure that has a satisfaction rate over 90%. Interested? Call South County Urological, 314-843-8000. We have the fix when pills and devices no longer work. 314-843-8000 or southcountyurological.com.
Special announcement. Together Credit Union is now accepting applications for its Together Foundation Community Scholarship Program. This year, Together Credit Union will award 5 $1,500 scholarships to eligible students who live and work in St. Louis City, St. Louis County, St. Charles County, Jefferson County, Madison County, or St. Clair County. Applications for the Together Foundation Community Scholarship are accepted until Monday, March 31st. Learn more at togethercu.org. Together Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Here's how to get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. Our US-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you, and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
Welcome to Staples.
I hear Staples prints it all for any business.
You bet, and we'll beat any print quote.
So if I had a pizza place...
Staples can print signs, menus, pizza boxes.
A landscaping business?
Oh, we can print yard signs, t-shirts, brochures.
How about a pizza/landscaping business? I'll call it Dough and Mo.
I like it.
Right now at Staples, get up to $250 off your print purchase. Ends 4/5, exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for offer details. Price match guarantee valid in store and staples.com/print. Visit staples.com/price match for details.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world in one of many award-winning natural hair products from New Nordic. Purchase at newnordicusa.com or CVS. That's newnordicusa.com.
Hey, this is Charlie Brennan. If you have exposed brick or stone in your garage, basement, or fireplace, this would be a great time to call Morelli Tuck Pointing. The Morelli team can work 12 months a year on the inside of your home. Tuck pointing is the removal and replacement of old and missing mortar on a wall or chimney. When you tuck point your home, you strengthen your structure, you prevent water damage, and you add value to your property. The Morelli team is expert at matching the color of the new mortar to the color of the old mortar. And I know because the Morellis have tuck-pointed patios, walls, and chimneys at 2 of our homes here in St. Louis. Morelli is a recipient of the Better Business Bureau Torch Award and the Angie's List Super Service Award every year since 2005. You can also research their reviews on the Google, Angie's List, and Better Business Bureau websites. Morelli Tuck Pointing at 314-645-1387 or MorelliTuckPointing.com.
Now, KMOX traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com traffic center.
Well, westbound 70 has a little bit of a slowdown right now, right past TR Hughes. There's sort of pockets from there out through Lake St. Louis Boulevard. Opens up by the time you get to A. We had a crash at 61. They cleared it, so it's just volume unwinding. Usually it's not that busy in St. Charles County this time of day, so it'll continue to get better, I think. Northbound 170 is a little busy from about Frost up through to 270 right now. Westbound 64 is kind of off the pace from the Science Center to McCausland. There's a slowdown past K, and then from Winghaven all the way out to 70, it punches up at stop-and-go pockets really on that run. Southbound 270, Page down to about Clayton Road, then it's a little slow past 44 and slow approaching Tesson Ferry after that. Downtown, eastbound 44 from Lafayette up to the Poplars backed up. 64 doesn't look bad until you get on the bridge. The bridge both ways between 3rd Street and the bridge itself is pretty slow, eastbound more so than westbound. Southbound 55, Arsenal to Bates, that's mostly bumper to bumper. A little slow traffic from Z to McNutt after that, not so bad. And northbound 67 from about Buck Creek up to Double C, you have the usual restrictions and delays there. For the Michaels Flooring Outlet.com Traffic Center.
KMOX KECK HD2 St. Louis.
The home of the Cardinals. KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 4 o'clock, it is 49 degrees. The feels like is 40 downtown at the Arch.
This just in.
President Trump has signed an executive order calling for the dismantling of the Education Department. The White House says the department would not close completely right now. It is to retain certain critical functions for now, like managing federal student loans and Pell Grants. A judge has blocked Doge from accessing some Social Security systems.
A federal judge has temporarily blocked Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, from systems at the Social Security Administration that hold personally identifiable data on millions of Americans. The decision also requires the team to delete any identifiable data they may have, saying that the activities of DOGE are more of a fishing expedition based on little more than suspicion. It comes after labor unions and retirees asked for an emergency order limiting DOGE access to the agency and its vast troves of personal data. The Trump administration has said that DOGE needs access as they target waste and fraud in the federal government. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
The Backstoppers is now helping St. Louis police officer Nathan Spees, who was struck by a vehicle while trying to apprehend a suspect on I-70. Backstoppers Executive Director Lawrence O'Toole tells KMOX.
Past Monday, with the information we heard about Officer Spees, our board voted to classify his injury as catastrophic.
That means Backstoppers will make $150,000 available to Spees to assist with his recovery. Backstoppers is a nonprofit that's known for helping the families of fallen first responders. I-70's expansion project begins construction on the Warrenton to Wentzville stretch. The project will also expand 64 to I-70. After the groundbreaking, St. Charles County Executive Steve Ellman told us the construction happening all together could be painful for now.
Short term, unpopular decision, but in the long term, by doing it all at one time, it's going to be a tough 18, 24 months, but we're going to get it all done.
This portion of the I-70 expansion costing $600 million, expected to be completed by the end of 2028. Significant damage was done to Creve Coeur Park's soccer complex during the storms Friday.
All of the turf soccer fields at Creve Coeur Park Soccer Complex will have to be replaced, according to St. Louis County Executive Sam Page, because of the damage from the strong winds on this past Friday. Looking around at some of the fields, you can see that the turf is ripped in some areas. There are ripples running through it from wind and water that got underneath. St. Louis County Executive Sam Page provides a timeline of when they hope to have some of these fields functional again.
We're hoping that we can get the turf replaced, repair some of the lights, get some of these fields operational by mid-June.
At Creve Coeur Park Soccer Complex, Sean Malone, KMOX News.
The KMOX Business Desk. If you were hoping to check out the STL Tech Week section on City SC, being one of the most technology-friendly professional sports franchises, you're out of luck. All of the seats were claimed within an hour of the session getting announced today.
They are definitely leading the region in this immersive technology experience. So this is the first year that we had the chance to partner with City, and man, we sold out tickets so fast.
Tech STL Director Emily Hemingway says Energizer Park is the smartest stadium that she's been to. The Dow from Stiefel down 11 points to 41,953.
Plenty of sunshine on this Thursday afternoon, but there is a chill in the air and it stays windy. Not like the winds we saw yesterday, but it's cooler, 51 for the high, and that may be a bit of a struggle. Tonight, clear and cold, 40s for evening plans, 37 for the low. Friday, partly sunny, 64. The weekend, Saturday, sunny, 59 degrees. And on Sunday, clouds dominate periods of rain, especially in the morning, 62. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray for the Voice of St. Louis. KMOX.
We've got sun, 49 in St. Peters, 48 in Florissant, 49. Feels like 40 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
This is the DGS sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloor.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. Happy Thursday. Housekeeping stuff. So tomorrow is a Cardinals game, so you'll be able to hear the broadcast at noon, which means we'll go on 3-ish, and I'm taking off because Phoebe is home from KU, and she's on spring break, and I want to spend the day with her. So the guys have graciously allowed me to leave tomorrow, so I'll be back on Monday. And when I'm back on Monday, we will be on 104.1 FM, which is going to sound so much better than 1120. I mean, so much better.
Yeah, crank the bass.
Yeah, crank it up, man. It's going to sound so good. Cardinals baseball is going to sound so good. So that is Monday. I'll be on Fox News in the morning with Pertzborn about 7:50 a.m. And then Steve Harris from Channel 4 is going to do his live hit at 4 p.m. here. So Monday's a big deal for us. You can celebrate with us. If you are watching on the stream, where is she? There she is.
Right in the big picture.
Yeah.
You may
Center
remember
stage.
Adriana from the Christmas show that we did, the Operation Food Search in December. And she and her brother Leo, who is, he's sitting next to her. He's smoking. You can't see it, but he's enjoying himself a cigar. Adriana and Leo made those great keychains that we were selling and giving to people, and they raised like $900 for Operation Food Search. So we became good friends, and Adriana played half-witch with us, and she's on spring break. And so she asked if she could come in, and I said, well, as long as it's okay with your mom. And she said, I don't want mom to know about this. So she drove, she and Leo down here in her own car. That's impressive. And you've been drinking a little. None of that's true?
No.
None of that's accurate?
None of it.
You know who
Except
told me
for-
that? Leo.
No, he didn't. I do drive a golf cart around my neighborhood, though.
Damn, girl. I don't even have a golf cart. Look at you with golf carts. So you're wearing 2 DGS hats, I see.
Mm-hmm.
And last night you had 3.
Yeah.
You need to branch out a little bit. Maybe check out the Riz show or something and get a hat from him. What's new with you? Spring break, right?
Mm-hmm. I also got my ears pierced.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And ask if it hurt. And she's like, hell yeah, it hurt. Put a needle in my ear, idiot. What, did you just do one or did you do both?
Both.
Yeah. Did you think twice about the second one? Like maybe one's okay.
Nah.
You're tough.
Yeah, once you do one, you got to do both, right?
Yeah. And you went to like a tattoo shop to have it done because they're the
Yeah.
best at it.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty crazy
According
place,
to her.
right? Like according to my mom.
Yeah, what does she know?
See, I had mine done originally at Claire's at the mall with a bunch of little girls. And I was probably the biggest sissy there. Like I didn't dig it.
Yeah, Mom says that if you get them done at Claire's, they just pinch it through with the earring.
Yeah, they have a gun. And for me, they stood back about 10 feet with it. So I didn't know what they were doing with that.
Don't miss.
Leo, would you ever get your ears pierced, brother? Yeah. Well, you may end up being a rocker. Who knows? You want to play some half-wits?
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Do you want mom to be on your team? Or you just want to be on your own?
on my own.
Okay. With Leo, too.
Okay.
We may hit a topic that he knows something about. So most of these things are going to be more grown-up things, but you did very well last time. The first one is a 50-50. It's either or. On average, which grows faster, fingernails or toenails?
Fingernails.
There you go. She buzzed in with the answer.
Dang it, I'm sitting over here thinking about
Yeah.
I know, I was thinking too.
it. Like, I don't know. My toenails seem to grow slower, but I don't know. Maybe.
What candy, think about this one. What candy, and I'll give you a hint, it's big on Halloween, was originally known as chicken feed?
Rachel.
Yes.
How about candy corn?
Candy corn. Very
Dang it.
good, Rachel. Wheeler's kind of dumb today.
Today?
The line, your mother was a hamster and your father smelt of elderberries, is from what 1975 movie?
Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Damn.
Oh, come on. That's not even right.
That's crazy.
That's not
Showed
right.
you up, Wheels.
That's not even right. I quit.
I really thought that was going to be one she didn't know. They probably weren't listening because they were in the green room, but this is where I had that story. In a quest to replace rubber, James Wright accidentally invented what common toy? He was trying to invent rubber. Anything come to mind? A rubbery toy.
I've heard of the story, but I don't remember.
Anyone?
Well, I mean, we were here.
Go ahead. You need to get on the board
I'll
somehow.
I'll take my
Yeah.
cheapie.
All
Silly
right.
putty.
There you go. Wheels is on the board.
Yes.
Finally. What sea creature is capable of generating an electrical charge up to 600 volts of electricity?
I'll do that one.
All right.
It's an eel.
Sorry, bluegill. No.
I'm like,
Electric
man,
eel
them
is
too?
correct.
Oh.
Those things are terrifying.
What, the eels?
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw an eel the only time I went snorkeling. I doubt it was an electric eel, but just an eel just freaked me out. According to Instacart, what is the most disliked food in America? And I'll give you a hint. Some people like it on pizza.
Adriana.
Yeah.
Anchovies.
Anchovies is correct.
She's good. I was
She
gonna
is
say
good.
Pineapple.
I was going to say, why do people hate pineapple so much? But, well,
So some of these questions will be like within 5, within a million. Within 5, adults have how many teeth?
I'll try.
Okay.
30.
32.
Yeah.
Whoa,
All
that's
right.
a lot of teeth.
Woo! I got
More
most
than
of
I
those.
thought. I was gonna say like 20, but I am from Grafton. So, you know.
Yeah, you'd probably be right in Grafton. 20 is the over under. If you have 30, you get to be mayor. Here's one just for Rach, just for fun.
Okay.
Which U.S. president is estimated to have had the highest IQ?
I'm gonna say Thomas Jefferson.
Good guess. John Quincy Adams.
Oh, JQ.
Yeah. You were in, which Adams were you into?
John Adams. They had the HBO show.
Yeah.
With Paul Giamatti.
I remember that.
Oh,
When he
yeah,
first
that was a
started
good
in the
show.
It's really good. I mean,
Yeah.
I will watch anything with Paul Giamatti though.
I know a lot of things about U.S. presidents, but I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to see Burr.
Aaron Burr?
I'm
He
kidding.
wasn't
I don't know. I wasn't going to say
president.
that. I have no idea.
Dude, haven't you even listened to Hamilton? Like,
I love Hamilton.
Which soft drink once contained cocaine?
Wheeler.
Wheeler.
Not that I know. Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola. And Wheeler takes the lead over the child.
Yeah,
Well done.
Dumb day. Let's go.
Well done. There's a snake in my boot is famously spoken by Woody, a cowboy in what movie?
Adriana. Toy
Yes.
Story.
Dang it.
Got a tie between Adrian and Wheeler here.
Yep.
It's going to get ugly. He'll punch. Like, I'm not even kidding.
Sometimes.
He'll just lay you right out.
Sometimes.
What guitarist notably performed on the Michael Jackson song Beat It?
I'll do it.
Okay.
It's Slash.
No.
Oh, no, it's not. He's in
No.
the other one.
No,
Dang
it's
it.
not.
I lose points.
Anybody?
Yeah, it's
Adriana. Eddie
Yes.
Van
it's
Halen.
my guy.
Very good.
How did I
Okay.
not know that?
Slash.
He's my favorite.
So Wheeler lost points. So Rach has 5. Wheeler has 15. Adriana has 25.
Dang it.
I like that little laugh. She's like, that's all right.
You idiots.
What is an 8-sided shape called?
Adriana.
Yeah.
Octagon.
Octagon. Very good.
I was
She
gonna
is
say
at
octopus.
30.
I swear I was gonna say the same thing. That's just what popped into my head. I'm like, oh yes, octopus.
Stop the car. There's an octopus.
It's right there on the side.
It's right there.
It's an octopus shape.
8 sides to it. I just saw a TikTok where an octopus, not a big one, like the size of a dog, was strangling a scuba diver.
Yeah, I hate seeing stuff like that. I once saw one of an octopus with its tentacle like wrapped around a diver's ankle and it's like dragging it into the sea. And I'm going, is that everyone told me it wasn't real?
Right. I don't know.
I think just to comfort me because I was very upset.
Guys are smart, man. Don't make them mad.
Yeah, no kidding.
Aren't they one of the smartest creatures on the planet?
I think so.
Yeah, they have brains in every arm.
Yeah, like but they figure out problems. Like if you put them in a container, they can like figure out how to twist the top off.
I have a cousin who can do that.
Really?
Which branch of I'm just doing the
He's
show
on
for
fire
Rage.
today.
Yeah.
I'm just shooting my shots. Which branch of the U.S. Armed Forces used the slogan, "It's not just a job, it's an adventure"?
Rachel.
Yeah.
How about the Coast Guard?
Nope. Good guess. You're down to 0. Sorry.
All right.
I'll go for it. I think it's the Army.
You are wrong. You're down to 10.
Uh-oh.
It's not the Army. It's not the Coast Guard.
No.
We'll take a shot, Adriana.
Navy.
Navy is correct.
Dang it.
She's at 35. Let me just say that you two are embarrassing me. Okay.
Don't make them so hard.
M&M's Fruit Chews would eventually become what popular candy?
Rachel.
Rach.
Skittles.
Nope.
Oh.
Are you kidding me?
You're at -5.
Oh, no. That was going to be my answer.
No. Chewy candies. Anybody? Chewy fruity candies. Nope.
Okay.
Starburst.
What? They don't even look like M&Ms.
Yeah, that makes no
I was
sense.
gonna say high chews.
What's a high chew?
You don't know
It's
what
a
a high
sneeze.
chew is?
No.
They're
Chew.
really good.
They are really
Got
good.
any on you?
No.
Oh, damn it. According to the Guinness World Records, what's the best-selling book of all time?
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
The Bible.
The Bible. There you go. Kevin is back to 20. Okay. Doubled. Everything is now worth double points. Everything's worth 10. What is the only food that can never go bad?
Adriana, honey.
Wow. She's aggressive.
I knew that, but I'm old and slow.
What was the first animal ever to be cloned? Dang it.
Rachel.
Yes.
A sheep?
Yeah,
Sheep.
that's it.
Dolly, right? Dolly, Dottie?
Yeah. Dolly.
What identity document is required to travel to different countries around the world?
Adriana,
Yes.
passport.
Passport is correct.
Too fast.
She is at 50. You ever been outside the country?
Nope.
Where do you want to go if you could go somewhere?
France.
Oh, it's great.
I'm learning how to speak French.
Go
Very
there.
nice.
It's fun.
Before you go to France, I recommend you go to Hartford, Illinois. Because it's when you get to France, you'll be like, I've been here before. Who is considered the father of relativity?
Me. Wheeler.
How dr-
Einstein.
How drunk are you?
I don't know.
Like on a scale of 1 to 10.
0. Just not smart.
Okay. Rach is at 10. Wheeler's at 30. Adriana's at 50. And Andrew hasn't answered a single question.
he's not even playing. He's like, oh, wait.
I didn't know I was in this before.
I didn't even know he was playing.
Neither did he.
I'll play. I'll swing in.
What is the name of the pet dinosaur on the TV cartoon The Flintstones?
Andrew.
Yes.
I don't know.
Well played.
Come on, Andrew.
Bobby.
Rachel.
Bobby the dinosaur.
Is it Dino?
Dino.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
There you go. Okay, only about 3 questions left. Actually, only 2 questions asked. Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa hangs in what museum?
Adriana.
Yes.
The Louvre.
Does it give me any points if I've been there?
Yes.
Oh.
You're at 40.
See? Yeah.
Adriana just experienced her first.
Yeah.
She's got Dave.
Dave rule.
Yes. Okay, this is a science question, and it is worth 30 points. Okay. Within 20 million, what is the distance from the Earth to the sun in miles? It's also known as an astronomical unit. I knew that. I wasn't reading it.
I got it.
Okay.
Really far.
Damn it. Nobody?
I don't know.
Not going to
this
take a
one.
shot?
I don't know.
93 million miles.
Dang, that is really far.
Yes, that's how far it is. Last question. Which country is the largest by landmass in the world?
Adriana. Russia.
Yeah, good call.
Damn, we didn't even let her win. I mean, you just did that legit. Rach comes in at 20. Andrew comes in at Bobby the dinosaur. Wheeler's at 40. Adriana's at 90. But somehow she got beat by Leo, who's at 112.
Wow!
So congratulations to Leo.
Good job, man.
No.
Thanks for coming in, honey.
Thanks.
Now, KMOX traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com traffic center.
Well, we got a couple of crashes in the Fenton area. There's one on 141 at Gravois. It looks like they have blockage, a lane blockage in both directions there. And then there's also an injury crash on westbound 30 at Summit, just a little west of there. So jam traffic in multiple directions around that area in Fenton. Southbound 270 headed down toward Fenton. You've got heavy traffic from Olive to 64 approaching Manchester to Doherty Ferry, but then it thins out. Westbound 64 Hampton out through McCausland's busy. There's a little slowdown around Long Road. It's jammed, though, from Winghaven pretty much all the way out to 70. 70 has heavy traffic from Earth City to the Blanchette, actually both directions there. And then west of 79, there's slow pockets all the way to Z and another slowdown right around the David Hokel Parkway after that. Southbound 55, Arsenal down through Bates is on the brakes, Z through McNutt slow. Eastbound 44 from Jefferson up to the Poplar. Westbound 44 past the bridges, and the bridge itself, 64 between 3rd Street and the bridge on the Illinois side, is congested in both directions. I'm Roger Brand at the Michaels Flooring Outlet.com Traffic Center.
It is getting close to decision time for the Cardinals and their roster. This is Tom Ackerman in Jupiter, Florida. Listen for my spring training report, the latest news as we get closer to opening day.
Hear Tom's reports, mornings and afternoons, and on Sports Open Line. On your voice of the St. Louis Cardinals, KMOX.
It's almost time for baseball's return to St. Louis. Get ready to watch your Cardinals take the field at Busch Stadium. From home runs and fireworks to historic plays and rising stars, there's no better way to catch Cardinals baseball than with thousands of friends, old and new, in the sea of red. Grab your tickets now to join the fun in Cardinals Nation. Visit Cardinals.com for tickets and info. St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
Game tickets? Check.
A round of cold beers? Check.
Ballpark hot dogs? Check.
Baseball is back, and nothing beats a night out with the guys.
Or ladies.
At a Cardinals game.
From thrilling games and mouthwatering eats to the iconic ballpark energy, Busch Stadium is the ultimate spot for you and your crew to dive into America's favorite pastime.
Make your next night out the best one yet. Join us at Busch Stadium, where every hour is happy.
For tickets, visit Cardinals.com.
St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
Hey, this is Charlie Brennan with a quick reminder. Schedule that annual eye exam. Routine eye exams not only diagnose vision changes, but can detect systemic diseases like diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, thyroid disease, to name just a few. Do what I do. Call Ophthalmology Associates at 314-966-5000. The doctors there, Greg Birdie, Ranj Malhotra, Samuel Berry, Robert Brusati, Andy Royer, will provide you with the area's most comprehensive eye exam. These doctors can also help with dry eye disease, the result of staring at screens, flying in airplanes, or living in a dry environment. Dry eye sounds harmless, but it can cause inflammation, blurred vision, and damage to the eye surface that's sometimes difficult to reverse. The doctors at Ophthalmology Associates are expert in diagnosis and treatment of dry eye disease. 314-966-5000, yourEyeDoc.com.
Looking to give your bathroom an affordable facelift? Maybe you need your shower area to become a safer space for your family's needs. Hey, it's Trish with a recommendation. Michaels can come in and give you a free quote. We'll discuss your needs and help figure out what would work best for your space and budget. Michaels Baths remodeled bathrooms all over the St. Louis region. 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ rating with the BBB. You'll love these guys. Michaels Bass, 636-775-0800.
Hi, Stacy here with Fairwinds Rivers Edge Senior Living in St. Charles. We have a helpful seminar coming up Friday, March 7th that just might be the help you didn't even know you needed. Learn about the current housing market and tips on how to downsize and move from a home you may have been in for 20 years. Or maybe it's been 50. Happy hour follows. Visit us online at fairwindsriversedge.com and let us know if you're able to join us. Thanks, and we hope to talk with you soon.
.424 at DJ Ass on KMOX. So, Wheels, not only does Canada have researchers, but they claim that every human has ESP.
No, so this is a real story. This is not made up. This is not from the TikTok.
Yep.
But researchers in Canada who have been studying psychic abilities say that every human being can learn how to read minds and can tap into the cover the psi abilities. So it's clairvoyance, it's psychics, it's telepathic abilities. They're in like the study they did was about using telepathy to move things and change things, and they found this technique where I'm not sure I like how it sounds, but they used some tool. I think it was an electromagnetic tool to create temporary lesions in the brain that within those subjects would basically unlock this ability because you have blockers or something. You have some things that prevent you from getting to the, or not so much prevent you, but like you have to get around it somehow to get to these things. Maybe the people that have those natural abilities, it's because they don't have that block.
Yeah.
But I saw this story and I'm like, come on, this has to be like random weirdness. But no, this is like a university study by real scientists who think that all human beings have psychic capabilities of some kind.
I find that so interesting. I don't know how much you guys know about hallucinogens. So I've never done any. I would like to under proper medical supervision because I'm just intrigued by what it can do for your mental health. But a lot of people who do mushrooms or LSD or MDMA or things like that have very, very similar experiences, like the Clockwork Elves and the Man in the Hat and things like that. And some scientists believe that it's not that the drugs are causing hallucinations. It's that the drugs are opening doors and windows into things that we should be able to experience, but our brain doesn't allow us to. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, it's fast. I mean, this is, I read through the whole thing and it's just fascinating because the idea, you know, how there's always been the belief that just a certain select few people have these abilities. But it turns out that their theory is that basically everybody has them, but they're blocked sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's what they were studying. And they found that like people could move an arrow on a screen with their mind if they did this procedure that they were doing. And then as soon as they fixed it, the ability went away.
Man, that's risky to be putting lesions in people's brains.
They said it. They did say it's like totally not dangerous. Like that was something that was a part of the experiment. But for the people, this was an experiment with human beings.
Yeah.
And it said the test subjects, it was not dangerous. It was not going to be permanent, but they had a way to do this that could at least open those abilities. Now, again, I don't know if I'd go 100% into this, but I find it fascinating that there's a scientific study that shows that some of this stuff might not be bogus.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, we know what was it? 0.00035 is the spectrum of light that we can see.
Right.
Almost nothing. We know we're surrounded by electromagnetic waves everywhere, and possibly they have something to do with all this and microtubules in the brain. So we're just scratching the surface.
Now, a Cardinals spring training report. Sponsored by Wilkie Window and Door, Norm's Bargain Barn, and St. Louis Composting. On your home of the St. Louis Cardinals, KMOX.
I'm Tom Ackerman. The spring training report is sponsored by Norm's Bargain Barn, Wilkie Window and Door, and by St. Louis Composting, growing gardens and making memories. The Cardinals have the day off today. The Major League and minor league teams all off, but the Cardinals will be very busy this weekend and have some roster decisions to make as well. Center field, one of the biggest. Victor Scott II's had a sensational spring offensively, but Michael Ciani has not. Manager Oliver Marmol still loves the glove of Ciani.
Yeah, Ciani's done a really nice job of playing defense and continuing to show what he is in center field. He's had a stretch where offensively it hasn't looked the way he's wanted. And you have to continue to think through it being spring training. And the other, I mean, Scott's had a phenomenal camp. I've said it, man, when it comes to being locked in, he's made the most out of every opportunity. So, yeah, hopefully not Sunday, but it won't be today either.
Lars Nootbaar also has been seeing more time in center field. This could go down to the wire. We'll see. In Jupiter, I'm Tom Ackerman on the home of the Cardinals, KMOX.
At 4:30, this news update is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. Windy conditions and 49 downtown at the Arch. President Trump just signed an executive order calling for the dismantling of the Department of Education. Speaking from the East Room, he says he'll protect the core functions of the department as he tries to unravel it.
Pell Grants, Title I funding, resources for children with disabilities and special needs will be preserved, fully preserved.
The department's already had about half of its staff cut, but it will take an act of Congress to fully shutter the agency. More Tesla vehicles are targeted by scandals.
Police in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada say more than 80 Teslas were vandalized with, quote, deep scratches and punctured tires at a dealership. It's believed to be the largest vandalism in Canada involving vehicles from the U.S.-based car company. Tesla vehicles and dealerships in the U.S. and Canada have been targeted since Tesla CEO Elon Musk was appointed to oversee the slashing of U.S. government spending, jobs, and programs. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
There is nothing like holding, loving, being around a chimp.
It's another win for PETA against the local woman behind the HBO special Chimp Crazy.
PETA has been pressuring the USDA to revoke the federal license for Tanya Haddix. PETA spokeswoman Brittany Peete.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture has finally terminated Tanya Haddix's Animal Welfare Act license, which allows her to broker wild animals, including primates, and operate her roadside zoo in Sunrise Beach, Missouri.
That's located near the Lake of the Ozarks. Haddix lied in federal court about the death of a movie star chimpanzee within her possession named Tonka. Tonka was found in her basement in Festus. He now resides in Florida. Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
PETA's offering a $5,000 reward to those who have verifiable evidence about Haddix selling animals still without a license. Let's get an update of the St. Louis Business Index. Here's Stifel's Scott Bedell.
Thank you, Michael. Good afternoon, everyone. As heard earlier on KMOX, the Federal Reserve concluded their two-day meeting today, leaving interest rates unchanged. Making some positive comments on the economy helped to propel the Dow Jones Industrial Average higher by 384 points, or 0.9% to 41,965. The Standard & Poor's 500 index gained a little bit more than 1% at 5,675, while the NASDAQ Composite Index advanced 1.4% to 17,750. The Bloomberg St. Louis Stock Index also gained on the day, up 1.75% at 1,495. Helping that index to move higher, Commerce Bank gained 0.75% at $62.34. Stifel Financial added 2.5% at $98.68. Boeing jumped a little less than 7% to $172.62. On the downside, Anheuser-Busch fell 0.7% to $63.08, while Centene slipped 0.75%. They closed at $59.23. This has been Scott Bedell from Stifel Financial, member SIPC and New York Stock Exchange.